Welcome everyone to the stream. It's showtime.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guests alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, the longest-running radio show in Florida, on the air since 1977. This year celebrating 45 years on the air. Now, Steve Kane with Brian Craig.
All right. Yes. It is Wednesday, people. Already it's Wednesday. Welcome to the program. My name is Brian Craig, and this, of course, is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, celebrating 45 years on the radio this year, the Steve Kane Show, and counting down to the big 5-0. We're already planning our big 50th celebration, 4.5 years from now. Well, we got a lot going on. We've got a lot to talk about, and just major stories breaking. I'm going to start with this new audio from Hunter Biden that was found from his laptop, which is just frightening. You're going to hear it in just a moment, but let me give you some background. This audio comes from Hunter Biden's laptop. And, I've been recommending Miranda Devine's book, Laptop from Hell, for months now. I recommend the audiobook version of it. It will blow your mind away. This recording that I'm going to play for you is from Hunter's abandoned laptop, the laptop he left at the computer store, and he is talking about his dad, Joe Biden, to a Brit by the name of Philippa Horan. Well, I have no idea who she is, but I imagine we are going to find out. There's a lot of bleeps in here. Hunter is big on profanities that you don't use in public and don't use on the radio. So, yeah, I know there's a lot of that. But you got to listen closely to this. This is very frightening. The American economy is in a worse state than it has been in any of our adult lifetimes. This is worse than Jimmy Carter. Okay? And everyone always points to Jimmy Carter. I was just a little kid. I remember Jimmy Carter being president and all that stuff. But it's a blur. I was a little kid. But at least Jimmy Carter was trying to make things better. He may have had the wrong ideas, the wrong attempts at solutions, but at least he was trying. Now we're finding out that one of the top advisors, in fact, actually, maybe the top advisor to Joe Biden is Hunter Biden. You're going to hear here. This is very frightening, people. I'm sorry to share it with you, but I think we got to know. We're only a year and a half in to the most disastrous presidency of our lifetime. Everything is on the edge here. Not just our economy, our national security, global security, the wreck of Afghanistan. Biden is responsible for the Russian invasion of Ukraine. I mean, it's just, the world is in complete chaos right now. And this audio that just leaked out from Hunter Biden's laptop explains a lot of it. It doesn't offer us any solutions, but it explains what's going on here. So let me just get to it. This is Hunter Biden speaking to this British artist who I've never heard of before, talking about his relationship with Joe Biden and his role in government and shaping United States public policy. Listen to this.
Guinness will literally be a blip in a radar screen as compared to my presence if my dad becomes president of the United States. Mm-hmm. She will be like a pimple on my in terms of the way in which people will be on this. And you have no clue. I am Daphne Guinness already. Yeah. I'm more than Daphne Guinness. No one gives a about what you think about Daphne Guinness, honey, except the Tattler. I was on the front page of every newspaper, including the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, not just the Tattler. Yeah. And so my point is that I believe that's an opportunity to say the things and to show the things and to reveal the things through this project that we want to reveal. Because it literally gives it, because you will have attention. I think that the most important thing, if you are me, is to use your attention with intention. You will not get across to everybody, and I have figured out a long time ago, if you're going to be involved in politics the way that I am, which is to choose to engage with my father in that life.
Now, oh my goodness. So now here it begins. Hunter, who is, you name an addiction, he has it, right? Hookers, women that are not prostitutes, strippers, crack, who knows what other drugs. This guy, whatever vice there is, he's got it. And he's telling us that he is involved in government.
If you're going to, then one of your obligations is to use that platform with intent. Is to not allow the platform to sit on top of you. I'm allowing the platform to sit on top of me right now.
Well, what happens is if your dad becomes president.
Now again, this recording was made in 2018. This is Hunter Biden you were listening to, okay? And this is a secret recording that just leaked out from 2018 from Hunter Biden's laptop from hell that he left at the computer repair store. And this British woman he's talking to now is asking him, what will happen if your dad becomes president of the United States?
I'm allowing the platform to sit on top of me right now.
Well, what happens is if your dad becomes president, for instance, or if he runs, it's a very, if I don't know if it will be exposed to that degree, but if it does...
Wonderful.
If it does, then it's a possibility for your dad to talk about drug reform and to talk about... and to push.
He's going to talk about drug reform and any other thing that I want him to.
He's going to talk about drug reform and anything else I want him to. Hunter is telling us that he is the man behind the presidency right now. No wonder everything is collapsing. We're being governed by a crack addict.
He'll talk about anything that I want him to, that he believes in. If I say this is important to me, then he will work a way in which to make it a part of his platform.
Wow. If it's important to me, he will find a way to make it a part of his platform. Hunter Biden, who has every vice that there is.
I don't know if it will be exposed to that degree, but if it does...
Wonderful.
If it does, then it's a possibility for your dad to talk about drug reform and to talk about... and to push.
He's going to talk about drug reform and any other thing that I want him to. He'll talk about anything that I want him to, that he believes in. If I say this is important to me, then he will work a way in which to make it a part of his platform. My dad respects me more than he respects anyone in the world, and I know that to be certain. So it's not going to be about whether my dad thinks it's going to affect his politics. No, it won't. It's not going to be whether or not he's going to be embarrassed. I mean, he never will. It's not going to. All of those concerns that you have with all of the people that you know that are that are the children of, I have none of them. Not a single one. The only one that I have is the knowledge that it's a different world, not by choice. But I am understanding of that because the person that has lived that life, that has given me this life, is the person I most admire in the world, and I would never change it because it's bigger than me. Everyone else talks about how can you be as good as your dad? I'm better than my dad. You know why I'm better than my dad? Because my dad tells me I'm better than him.
Oh my goodness. I'm better than my dad. He tells me I'm better than him. That's how I know I'm better than my dad. If it's important to me, he will find a way to make it part of his platform, thereby becoming policy.
Since I was 2 years old. So all of those fears that you think that I have of people not liking me or that I don't love myself, and first I have to go down and you have to really care about yourself and understand and put yourself out there. Baby, have you seen me? Do I not put myself out there?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, all of it.
Yeah.
I put out there.
Yeah.
To you or to the homeless person. I don't fear that. You know why I don't fear that? Because the man I most admire in the world that God to me thinks I'm a God. And my brother did too. And the three of us, it was literally, I had the support to know I can do anything.
What does he say about you doing crack? Does he try?
He says, stop.
Yeah. And
He's scared to death.
And what do you say? I mean, how does that affect you when he says that?
The same way that it would affect you if the person that you love most in the world wanted you to stop. And the realization that stopping, even for the person you love most in the world, is such a hard thing, because it is literally, look, it's not about whether or not I want to. It's about whether I really want to.
Yeah.
But what's really want to and what's want to, and what is whether to make a choice or not a choice, and I don't know. This is a habit.
My friend
right now, I know that I don't want to stop now. But you never know. You never want to stop.
But that's the thing. It's like you can always do it tomorrow, but tomorrow is always tomorrow. You know, tomorrow is always tomorrow. Why not do it now? For real. That's when you take things like that. I get it. But you're not an addict, and so you have no idea that is literally like you're telling me that the sky is blue, but you don't seem to realize it. I realize it. I know now is now, but I know I have to do it. And I'm saying to you is that I don't know if I want to do it tomorrow. I don't want to know if I do it now. I don't know. Because you don't want to stop.
Because it's fear.
Yeah.
Fear.
Because what happens if you stop? Then you have no excuses.
Oh yeah, I have a million excuses. You know I have a million excuses. Everybody has excuses. I don't have to use drugs as an excuse. You act as if drug addicts are the only one who come up with this idea that they're afraid because if they don't continue to use drugs, they're not going to have excuses. What a bunch of people know that they get in their car in the morning, and if they don't go to the gym, they're going to end up dying of obesity, but they don't go. Why? Because they're afraid. They're afraid that they're going to be thin and going to be healthy and they're going to be able to engage in life more. And they don't have any excuses not to do that.
Well, it's a mixture of things, isn't it?
But it's just the same.
It's habit as well.
And habit is the biggest thing that's happening here. The fact of the matter is that I have not had the reason to break the ease of the habit I'm in. And the reason is because I don't, like what? Nothing has captured my imagination until now. And that's why I have to start to do it. Because what I'm realizing now is that my choice to do this, the drug, brought me to an understanding. It allowed me to break from everything in the past. Have you ever thought about this? Maybe this is the greatest thing that ever happened to me.
Wow.
Maybe this is literally the continuation and the continuum of what is going to be the thing that makes me the person that my father believes I am. My father believes I am. Everybody says the person my father thinks I will never become. And for me, it's the person I know.
But at what point does that happen? Like, are you always looking
well, isn't that the line?
Looking for this epiphany? And
no, it's not. I've had the epiphany.
Crack pipe.
I've had the epiphany.
Yeah.
No, I've had the epiphany. I know now.
Wow. That's Hunter Biden. Leaked audio from the laptop. He says that if it's important to him, Joe Biden makes it policy, part of his platform. He is enlightened because of his crack. He does not want to give up crack. He thinks he's maybe better with it. Every aspect of American life is in chaos right now. Prices, everything. Rents, internationally. There's a war going on because of it. And he's the senior advisor. President Trump had Jared Kushner. Oh man, they were all over Jared Kushner like he was a bad person. President Kennedy had Bobby. You know, someone that's in the family, that's close, that's important to them, whose opinions are important to them. And Joe Biden has Hunter, who doesn't want to give up crack because he thinks it enlightens him. That's what he said there. Oh my goodness. I want to hear your thoughts on that audio. Our number is toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE1. It's a toll free number no matter where you are listening to us, 1-888-465-2631. That's frightening to me. That is frightening. You put that together with Jean-Pierre, who couldn't even come up with an answer on the baby formula crisis. You know, we've got a baby famine going on in America. We've got an economic crisis. We've got an international security crisis. We've got wars going on now because of this guy. And his senior advisor is a crack addict. And it's no joke. You heard it right there. 1-888-465-2631. 1-888-465-2631. I want to tell you about my anti-aging doctor, Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bio Station. You know, Dr. Matez, he's my hormone replacement doctor. I first started seeing Dr. Matez, I guess, 6 years ago. But you know, Dr. Matez in 2005 introduced hormone replacement pellet therapy to South Florida. He was the first doctor to do it. They're tiny little pellets. They're about the size of a grain of rice before you add water to it. And he inserts them under your skin. You can't even feel it. It's completely painless, at least from my experience. Dr. Matez does it himself, and he's very good. And what do? They restore your hormone levels to where they were when you were in your 20s. Not only will your sex drive be increased, but your sexual performance as well. If you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, it can help you with that too. Your energy level will be through the roof. You'll feel better, you'll look better. Women, the signs and symptoms of menopause, completely stopped and reversed. Night sweat's gone. Mood swings gone. Vaginal dryness, that's gone in reverse too. And women, you get your sex drive back too. Call Dr. Mitch Matez at the Bio Station. It's a no-charge consultation, but you got to mention that you heard about him on the Steve Kane Show. Here's the number: 561-320-8893. 561-320-8893. We'll be right back after this.
COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID test for work or school.
Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Steve Kane Show. Hold on. Oh my goodness. I want to hear some of you guys call in about that. I mean, that is just scary as can be.
South of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Hi, this is Scott from Cut by Kilowatts. If you call or text
Oh man.
Insulation, ducts, and radiant barrier. Call me now and I'll show you how to save up to 30 to 40% on your electric bill this month and for every month from here till eternity. 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. Call now, get up to 50% off, and receive an additional $500 on over 2,000 square feet of radiant barrier, an additional $1,000
Steve Kane Show.
on 4,000 square feet of radiant barrier.
Hold on.
Call or text me now, 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. Or you can find me on the web at cutmykilowatts.com.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. We're going to come back and go right to the calls after the break.
My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone.
Oh, we got some new items from My Pillow I'm going to talk about too later in the hour.
Thank you.
That are cool and beautiful. Oh man. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Conscious Moron. I'm calling from Atlanta.
Did you say conscious moron?
Exactly. I called before.
Oh, so you're a moron. Oh, so you know you're a moron. Is that what that means?
No, it means I'm grown. But anyway.
Okay, all right.
You said that leaked audio was from the laptop?
Correct.
So when was the laptop recorded?
That recording was from 2018.
So Biden wasn't even thinking about being president. So how can you?
Oh, I don't know about that.
But do you know? Can you confirm that he was thinking about it or not?
Oh, this is interesting. This is interesting. This is very interesting. So I want to agree with you. I'm gonna agree with you, caller. You are a moron. But now that we have a point of agreement, let's move on.
All right. Well, go ahead.
Okay, whatever. You're the one who I'm not calling you names. You call yourself a moron. That's not me.
All right.
No, you said your name is Conscious Moron. You said your name is Conscious Moron. I said, so you're a moron. You said, yes, but I'm conscious of it. So, you're calling yourself that. The fact you can't understand that is even more evidence that you're right when you call yourself a moron. Hunter Biden, this is what we know.
Hunter Biden being a senior advisor.
Well, if you would stop talking and stop waiting to talk and listen, then that's how conversations go, okay? You probably don't take part in very many conversations. I imagine you spend most of your time in a bedroom alone in front of a computer screen. But here's the thing. What we do know is that Joe and Hunter Biden both have many vices. We know that Hunter Biden, yes, sex, drugs, right, and political corruption, crime, drugs, and hookers.
Sex addiction?
Well, Biden sexually assaulted a woman in the halls of the Senate years ago. Yes.
What about Trump?
Trump never sexually assaulted a woman.
He didn't want to give his DNA to.
I don't know who you're talking about. We're talking about Hunter. We're talking about... There's no rape case against Trump. Do you know how to have a conversation? Oh, you don't? Okay. Well, when you figure it out, call back. I'd love to talk to you, but you're not able to focus in on one thought. But I'm going to answer his question before I move on to the other callers. I let Conscious Moron go. We know that Hunter Biden has worked closely with his dad as his money mule for years and years and years. This is what we know. We know that Joe Biden ran for president to continue his political corruption after the passing of Beau Biden, who was supposed to take over his spot in the Senate. I've seen no evidence that he has another money mule. Have you? We still know that it's Hunter Biden. We still know that Hunter Biden has serious drug addiction problems, and he still has problems with hookers and strippers, okay? Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Louisiana.
Oh, yes, Louisiana. Your comments on this shocking audio.
Okay, first of all, I don't know if it's Hunter Biden on a video, but the person that's on that tape is a person that's on drugs. And I don't know if you ever know somebody personally that's on crack. That person really doesn't want to be on crack, because once they get a hold to it, it's like they can't give it up. And I personally know someone that's on crack, and I love this person dearly in my heart. She's the smartest person in this world. But you think she wants to be on that? No, it's an addiction.
Mm.
And I think...
Just because something's an addiction doesn't mean that people want to be off of it. I've known addicts that are drug addicts, okay? I've had drug addicts, sadly, in my family, not crack, but other things, and they don't want to give it up. They enjoy their drug that they know they're addicted to. But this thing with Hunter Biden,
Nobody, and Hunter Biden, I don't know if it's Hunter Biden, but he said,
it is Hunter Biden.
Okay. My dad wants me to be better than him. I'm better than him. Don't you want your daughter to be better than you?
Oh, she is better than me.
So why couldn't Hunter Biden be better than this?
Yeah, but see, this is the deal. Wait, you asked a question I'm trying to answer. Don't act like Conscious Moron. Listen, this is what we know. Joe Biden is a criminal, and he's slow down for a second. I'm not done answering. What you said about Donald Trump is not true, but even if it were true, it's not relevant to the discussion. Okay. Whatever. We're not talking about our great President Trump right now. We're talking about Biden and Hunter. This is what we know. Joe Biden is a criminal. He's been one his entire adult life since he's been in the Congress. That you're another fallacy doesn't work. Donald Trump's not a criminal, but even if he were, it's irrelevant. And what we also know excuse me, what we also know is that Hunter Biden, right, is the money mule, the front man of Joe Biden's criminal operation. Sure. There's not just from the laptop, but he was involved. He got how many millions from the mayor of Moscow, Burisma in Ukraine, a diamond from the Chinese.
How many billions he got from the Saudis? Come on, Brian, you're reaching this morning, man.
Oh no, you're devolving. You're devolving. You're sad this morning. You're sad.
Bad. No, I'm good.
Are you not? And listen, Donald Trump. Even if what you said about Donald Trump were true, and it's not, but even if it were, he's not in the White House right now. Joe Biden is, and according to his crackhead son, he is his senior advisor making policy. All right. I can't talk to these people. You know, their response to everything is, so is Donald Trump. None of that's true about President Trump. Even if it were, I don't understand the relevancy to this discussion. The liberals are triggered today, people. You can tell that audio of Hunter Biden has triggered the liberals this morning. I want to hear your thoughts on that. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere, 1-888-465-2631. Now, listen, a lot of you have to get COVID testing for work. Sometimes you need to get it for travel. I had to get a test recently. My wife was having a procedure in the hospital, and we both had to have COVID testing before they would let us in the hospital. And we had to bring the results. I was just there. I was just with her. And I had to do it. If you need COVID testing, the best place to go, any lab test now of Boca, any lab test now of Coral Springs. You know, they have same-day PCR testing. That's right. I know, it's amazing. And you're in and out in just a couple minutes. When I went in for my COVID testing, I was in and out in 5 minutes. You'll be out in less than 15. But you know what? They don't just do COVID testing. Any lab test now of Boca, any lab test now of Coral Springs, do all the thousands of lab tests that your doctors order. My wife, I took her over to any lab test now of Boca yesterday. She needed a test result. A UTI. She had to get one of those UTI tests, urinary tract infections. Ladies deal with such things. And she went over there, boom, she got it. And she'll get the result right away, immediately emailed to her, and it'll also be forwarded to her doctor. That's right, no appointments necessary. They guarantee the lowest price on all of their thousands of tests. Now listen, there's lots of Any Lab Test Nows around, but only 2 are advertising on this program. That's Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs, which is on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, over by the Coral Square Mall, and Any Lab Test Now of Boca in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough, on the east side of 441 State Road 7, okay? And what I mean by that, these are the only 2 locations advertising on the Steve Kane Show. Don't use the rest. Use these 2, okay? They're good people over there. I go there for all of my lab testing for my doctor. Okay, we'll finish up the break and be right back. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. Call us on hold. Stand by. We will be back right after this break.
Attention seniors and those...
Oh, man.
How would you like to have...
In the next break, there's a bunch of new MyPillow products that Mike Lindell emailed me about yesterday that are up there, and I'm going to go over those. These are amazing products. I'll do that in the next break. But
Medicare applications, they'll even help when you're in the hospital. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family.
Yeah, I'm going to cover it because I don't want everyone to have Mike's private info, but he's got some new products. He sent me all the details about them to tell you guys.
1214. No matter where you're located throughout the state of Florida or nationwide. 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214.
The liberals are triggered this morning. No doubt about that, huh?
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
The Steve Kane Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1.
Oh, yeah. The liberals are definitely triggered. Make sure you all like the video. If you're new, subscribe. We're getting close to the big 50,000 subs. I'm real excited. All right, man. Triggered liberals today. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Oh, hey, Mike. I mean, these liberals this morning, they're rattled by this new leaked audio of Hunter Biden telling us that if something's important to him, Joe Biden makes it policy.
You know, we've been asking who's been making the decisions for Joe Biden, and we just assumed it was somebody like, you know, I mean, let's throw Jill out the window, because usually the first lady doesn't do that stuff. We were assuming it was somebody like a John Kerry, who God been in government, God was in the Senate, you know, this, that, and the other. You know, he may not be the smartest guy, but at least he's had that experience. But this is scary, because this is every bit as bad as what happened when Woodrow Wilson had a stroke and his wife was basically running the country.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
You know, and I mean, we know about him giving 10% to the big guy, right? Being Joe Biden, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we also know about the fact that he tried to use some porn that he kind of filmed as to blackmail his dad, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He has homemade porn. Yeah, that's right.
This guy is a scummy, evil guy.
Yeah, but he's he is to Joe Biden what Bobby Kennedy was to President Kennedy, what Jared Kushner is to President Trump. That's very scary.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the thing, but at least for the time being, that we don't know how bad, you know, Jared Kushner seems to be a good guy.
Oh, he's a straight shooter. He's a squeaky clean Marine, just like his father-in-law.
Yeah, but this guy who's a drug addict, and look, out of us,
not just a drug addict, a crack addict. I mean, that's like the worst. That's like one of the worst things you can be addicted to. I thought crack was out. I guess Hunter's bringing it back in fashion.
It seems like the healthiest person in the Biden family right now is Biden's daughter, who.
No, she's got drug problems too. That she's been through rehab. That's how Project Veritas got the diary, is she left it behind at the rehab.
Yeah, she left it behind at the rehab, but it seems, from what I gleaned from the diary, it seems like she was getting better, you know, whereas this guy doesn't seem to want to get well.
Oh, he said in that audio, Hunter Biden, that maybe the crack helps him. Maybe he's more enlightened.
Oh my God, how can the crack help you?
That's what he said. That's, you know, and that explains. It does seem like the country's being run by a crackhead. Yeah. Remember Whitney Houston? She said crack is whack.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but then again, you got to understand that it ended up. She died as well.
Yeah, she did. Hey, listen, Mike in Louisiana, take care. Thanks for the call. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Oh, hey, Richie. Oh, man. You know, Hunter Biden, he's like one of those dregs that used to ride your bus down Broward Boulevard.
Yeah, his wife actually, his ex-wife actually, broke her silence also. So I think she's basically got guilty conscience. She didn't open her mouth before. She sold out for the money. The idiot that from Louisiana that called up that nobody wants to be on crack. Well, I got to tell you, most people that get off of crack is because they look for help because they don't have the money to support the habit. But when you get $500,000 from China for blowing it on a portrait panel with paint, and you're getting that kind of money for paintings and all sorts of.
And remember when Hunter, when he was doing the art, he showed it like he was painting with a nose straw, like with the cocaine. Remember he did that, which was a shout out to his drugs.
Yeah, and now you want to know what what? There's open borders, and the drugs are flowing into the United States because the senior advisor to the guy that hasn't got any brain left between his ears listens to him.
You know what he's like? He's like Rodney King before he became famous. Remember Rodney King was high on crack when he led them on that police chase?
Yeah,
a lot of people. Let me hold on, Richie, because I'm glad Richie called about this because I did have a little experience with crack addicts. I ran into, years ago in the early 90s, I ran into, on two separate occasions, two people I went to high school with who were crack addicts. One of them was one of the most popular girls at my high school, and she was like a street walking prostitute on Sunrise Boulevard in East Fort Lauderdale. This was in the early 90s. And another guy that I went to middle school and high school with, and he weighed about 65 pounds. But as a county bus driver in Fort Lauderdale, you saw what crack addicts are like. It's the worst, isn't it? It's really bad.
I can tell you this. We had an Afro-American guy in my class that was a 20-year veteran from the Army, and the guy was brilliant. And he ended up on the streets of Fort Lauderdale. He was a strong, solid man that looked like he weighed about 110 pounds when he died of crack addiction. He lost his job and everything on Broward Boulevard. So I know what crack will do to you, but the fact is that you got to have the money to support the habit in order to...
Well, crack is cheap. And his father, the worst thing you can do to a drug addict is give them money. And you give them 10 cents, they'll buy drugs with it. And Biden is using this guy with this addiction as a money mule, giving him access to millions of dollars.
Yeah, Biden said on tape, that my son is the smartest guy he knows. He said that. So the bottom line is, it adds up here. But you know what the sin of this is? The sin of this is that this is not being reported they hit this laptop. They still don't want to talk about it. The Democrats are in cahoots to keep them quiet.
Yeah, and Fox, I tuned into Fox really early this morning to see if they were covering it, and I know these elections are important. They're very excited that a Mexican American is a Republican. But this to me is now we know why America is a wreck right now.
Oh, absolutely, and it's being ignored by the mainstream media. They have given this guy, a couple of people are saying he shouldn't run in 2 years. Well, I could have told you he shouldn't have run this time.
If he shouldn't run in 2 years, why is he governing today? Why are they not calling him to resign?
He has to go. Nobody wants to. The Democratic Party in a whole, they should be asking for him to step down at this point in his time because the country's collapsed.
Let me ask you, and I'll throw this out to people, Joe Biden knows that the money that he gives his son goes to drugs, so in effect he's buying drugs. Is he taking part in criminal activity, Joe Biden, with the drugs?
Absolutely. He's taken part in money laundering for years.
Yeah.
Andrea, really quick, Andrea called you yesterday, so I'm going to answer her question about the port, the backup in the port. Andrea, California passed a law where these trucks that are older can't come in unless they go through, radical inspection.
10 years old. If they're over 10 years old, semi-trucks.
So they're not going into California, so there's not enough trucks to empty the port.
Yeah.
Are backing up more and more and more, but they're keeping a lid on that too. Lid on everything. She's going down the toilet, and for this guy from Louisiana to keep calling, and he throws in President Trump. Well, I could care less. President Trump was a decent man, but the fact of the matter is, they've had years of investigation. They try to pull fraud on him to throw him out of office because he's.
Yeah, and then we've got the confessions from the Biden family, and they're ignoring them. Hey, Richie, take care. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian.
Oh, speak of the devil. The devil is Andrea. Richie was just talking about you.
You're 100% correct. Speak of the devil, and here I am.
Yeah.
And thank you to Richie for putting that out there. So this Hunter Biden tape, I have a very different perspective on it. First of all, what you're listening to is the rant of basically a sociopath, right, who is in a delusion. But the reason why he keeps saying the things that he says, I'm better than my dad, I'm a god, I'm smarter than my dad. Do you know why he says that? Because he has been groomed by Joe Biden his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
He's been groomed.
See, and let me tell you what I think Andrea is getting onto with this is right on the money. Joe Biden likes Hunter this way because he can control him to do his crimes. He's the front man for his criminal operation.
Exactly. So in order for Joe Biden to keep Hunter in line and check, the drugs are just a frosting on that cupcake. But he keeps telling him, and he's probably said it his whole life, you're the smartest person I know. It is.
That's why I have you in charge of all of this. That's why you're running this operation for the family.
Well, I think that's Hunter's delusion, but it is a 100% manipulation. This kid has been groomed by his father his whole life so that he is obedient.
Yep, and see what happened here, I was telling you guys, this new audio, if you're just tuning in, I played it at the top of the show, and I think I'll play it going into the top of the hour break so people who have not heard it can hear it, and I'll just play it uninterrupted going into the top of the hour. There's new audio from Hunter's laptop where he says that if something's important to him, Joe makes it part of his platform, makes it policy, and much more. That's what we're talking about right now. This is new audio. The media are covering this up. They're not reporting on it. I'm very disappointed. But the plan that when I went through Laptop from Hell, the main thing I got away from it took away from it was this. Joe Biden was planning on Beau becoming the senator from Delaware and taking over the family business of being a corrupt public official. Hunter was going to continue in his role as the money mule, but do it for Beau. Beau passed away, which forced Biden back in the office to make as much money as he can as president. And whatever dealings they were doing before, they're doing them bigger and more than ever before because they have a limited time frame. And the Biden family have pissed away most of the corrupt money that they've made in the past because it gets split many ways. It's a family of bums, and they all live very extravagant lifestyles. And that's what's going on here. And this is what's running. And they're having hearings about President Trump. They need to have hearings on this.
Well, that's when the Republicans need to grow a spine. But what you just heard, and if you really listen from that perspective, that is years of grooming, emotional manipulation by his father.
Mm-hmm. See, everything that came out of Hunter's mouth in that rant was told to him by his dad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. His whole life.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Joe Biden will never put him in rehab. Because if Hunter goes to rehab, he might get clear about what's going on.
That's right. All right, Andrea, thanks for the call. Now, I got a big announcement here from the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, Mike Lindell. I got an email from Mike Lindell yesterday. They got a whole bunch of new products that I'm going to tell you about right now and throughout the day. These are huge, and I'm going to order mine today, and I've already got mine picked out. Now, we talk about the MyPillow My Slippers, which, by the way, $90 off, just $49.98, normally $139.98. The MyPillow My Slippers. We've been talking about them for a while. I got 2 pairs, and I know a lot of you do too. Those are Fruitaline. Well, it's getting in the summer now, and Mike Lindell has just launched a new line of all-season slippers that are not Fruitaline. And he sent me a very long description of them, which I'm going to go through right now, okay? And they're beautiful. If you go to MyPillow.com and click on the slipper specials, you'll see all the new items, and they have new colors in too. In fact, a bunch of new covers. Okay, so here is from the email that I got from Mike Lindell. New all-season My Slippers and sandal announcement. There's also MyPillow sandals now. They come with a 60-day money-back guarantee, a 1-year warranty. That's right. Now, the fur-lined slippers are still in stock and still available, but the all-season slippers are available in regular and wide widths. Because I know some of you have asked me about that, and I passed your questions on. They took care of that. The all-season slippers are available in regular and wide widths. They have additional sizes that they did not have prior in the fur line, and a bunch of new colors that are available now and more coming soon. They're made of pebble grain leather. They're breathable, soft jersey fabric linings, and when you look at them, you'll see they're made out of leather, not that's smooth, not like the other slippers. And they even gave me some sizing recommendations. With the all-season My Slippers, these are the new My Slippers, you want to go down. If your normal shoe size is a half size. For example, if you wear an 8.5, order an 8. If you wear a 9.5, order a 9. Now the sandals, this is amazing. I'm going to order a pair of these too, because they have two different types of sandals. They have thong sandals, like where your big toe goes in the one, through the thong of it. And then they have slide-on sandals that cover the whole top of the foot. I'm going to get the slide sandals. They have them in a bunch of new colors for men and women. The MyPillow My Sandals are made of proprietary MyPillow super soft foam for superior comfort and impact absorption, as well as a 3-tier cushioning system, so it reduces the stress put on your feet and your joints. They're good for all-day comfort. They're built with a durable construction that will last. They're molded and formed to cradle and support the foot. Easy to clean, too. And they also include recovery foam to support the foot after a long day. And they're pretty fashionable, too. So go to MyPillow.com. Check out the brand new all-season MyPillow My Slippers. I'm going to order the all-season men's slip-on. And again, what we've been talking about are the fur line. But these are not fur line. These are all new. And they're part of the My Slipper special. $90 off. Regularly $139.98. But all the MyPillow My Slippers are being offered for $49.98, and there's also a huge savings on the sandals. So go to MyPillow.com, use our promo code at checkout, Kane, K-A-N-E, to take advantage of that deal on these, and go and look at them. You're going to love them. You're going to love them. And these are going to sell quick. I'm telling you, these are going to sell big time, especially since they have all these new sizes and the wide widths as well. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879, promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
White House Medical Center CFO and Director of
Neuropathy. Go check those out. They're amazing.
Medical Center this year. It's our 75th anniversary, and we've been able to help a lot of patients. We want to be able to help you with your neuropathy issues as well. You have numbness, burning, pain, tingling, lack of sleep, or balance issues.
Where am
Please
I?
Come see us and let us help you with that problem.
Yeah, and that's a great way for you guys to support the show too, or buying these MyPillow products.
Being able to see the quality improved in their life and being able to help them and their family has been a blessing to us and a blessing to them, and we look forward to doing that for the next 75 years. We don't just treat neuropathy at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have a
K-A-N-E.
pain program with non-surgical
Yeah, go check out those new all-weather slippers and sandals, and let me know what you guys think. And when you order, let me know what you order.
Call for a free consultation with us today. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50%.
I'm going to play the Hunter Biden audio going into the top of the hour break so everyone can hear it. Again, people need to hear that.
954-939-1500.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. If you just tuned in, you've already missed a lot. I began the show. There is new audio of Hunter Biden that leaked out where he says that if something's important to him, it becomes part of his dad's platform. It becomes policy and more. I played that audio right at the top of the hour. I am going to play it again uninterrupted without any commentary going into the top of the hour break for people that are just tuning in. So that'll just be a few minutes from now. But I do want to take your calls on that as well. Those of you who have thoughts on it, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. Good morning.
Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Will, from Illinois.
Hey, Will.
I just wanted to take a minute real quick and say about Mike Lindell. He's going to be speaking at Mount Juliet, Illinois, Sunday.
Are you going to go?
I am, yes. I'm planning on going.
If you take a picture with Mike Lindell, put it on social media and tag me.
I will, Brian. Thank you. Yeah, he's speaking Sunday. He's speaking this Sunday in Mount Juliet, Pastor Greg Vaughn.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Oh, he's speaking. Oh, Mike Lindell's speaking at a church. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Non-denominational, but you know, with Mike Lindell's his Christian roots, and I look forward to hearing to him for what he has to say. You know, I know that they have on Sunday nights a deliverance.
What's the name of the church in Illinois that Mike Lindell's speaking at?
The name of the church is Global Vision Bible Church.
Okay, so, you know, it may be possible. I wonder if it's possible to get that live streamed and actually get to see it. Do they stream their services?
Yes, they do.
Okay. Yeah, call me again on Friday and remind me so we can let people know to go and check that out.
I definitely will. Thank you, Brian.
All right, thank you. That's great. Yeah, so he'll call us back on Friday, remind us, and so we can all stream that and watch Mike Lindell speak at the church. I did watch Greta Van Sustern's full debut show on Newsmax. And let me tell you, it was difficult to watch. I had a hard time getting through it. And the only reason I watched all of it is so that I could talk about it with you. It was a disaster. There were technical disasters that I don't understand how they happen, but when things are new, there's technical problems. But the topics and the way she discussed them, I love Newsmax, guys, but that show was boring. Boring. And that's the best description. It was boring. You know, I've known people that have been radio hosts, and then they're off the air for years, and then they return to the airwaves. And it's like the show picks up where it left off 10 years, 15 years ago or more before, and they're out of date, out of time, and don't really feel the pulse of the audience. And that's how it was with Greta last night. I'm not talking about just the technical problems. I'll give her a pass on the technical problems. But she was interviewing a member of Congress about Chinese microchips. I mean, come on. It was a total dud, boring, and a disaster. I do like Schmidt. Is that how you say his name, Schmidt? That comes on at 7. He's very, very good. And I'm glad I'll get an opportunity to see him because I really didn't before in his old time slot. But Greta Van Sustern's show was unexciting, boring, and dated. And she, to me, I used to talk about this before when she was on Fox and MSNBC. She looks, her hair and her clothes, and this goes back to the Fox and MSNBC days with her. Greta Van Sustern's clothes and her hair, she looks just like Don Johnson from the Miami Vice days. And if you guys saw the Greta Van Sustern show, I'm going to give her another chance tonight, but that was a disaster. I want to hear your thoughts on the Greta Van Sustern show from last night. I know a lot of you watched it. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE1. All right, now I'm going to play uninterrupted this new leaked audio of Hunter Biden talking to his lady friend from England. And it's really frightening stuff here. I'm going to play it uninterrupted so that you all can hear it, that missed at the very top of the show. So here we go. Hunter Biden and this new tape that just leaked out yesterday. This is from the laptop where he says that if it's important to him, his dad makes it part of his platform, and that Hunter Biden is making government policy. Crazy.
Anthony Guinness will literally be a blip in a radar screen as compared to
Nice
my
mouse,
presence
Hunter.
if my dad becomes president of the United States. She will be like a pimple on my in terms of the way in which people will be on this. And you have no clue. I am Daphne Guinness already.
Yeah.
I'm more than Daphne Gittes. No one gives a about what you think about Daphne Gittes, honey, except the Tattler. I was on the front page of every newspaper, including the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, not just the Tattler.
Yeah.
And so my point is that I believe that's an opportunity to say the things and to show the things and to reveal the things through this project that we want to reveal. Because it literally gives it, because you will have attention. I think that the most important thing, if you are me, is to use your attention with intention. You will not get across to everybody, and I have figured out a long time ago, if you're going to be involved in politics the way that I am, which is to choose to engage with my father in that life, because I believe in what he does. If you're going to, then one of your obligations is to use that platform with intent, is to not allow the platform to sit on top of you. I'm allowing the platform to sit on top of me right now.
Well, what happens is if your dad becomes president, for instance, or if he runs, it's a very, if I don't know if it will be exposed to that degree, but if it does...
Wonderful.
If it does, then it's a possibility for your dad to talk about drug reform and to talk about, and to push...
He's going to talk about drug reform and any other thing that I want him to. He'll talk about anything I want him to, that he believes in. If I say that it's important to me, then he will work a way in which to make it a part of his platform. My dad respects me more than he respects anyone in the world, and I know that to be certain. So it is not going to be about whether my dad thinks it's going to affect his politics. No, it won't. It's not going to be whether or not he's going to be embarrassed. I mean, he never will. It's not going to. All of those concerns that you have with all of the people that you know that are that are the children of, I have none of them. Not a single one. The only one that I have is the knowledge that it's a different world, not by choice.
This is the Talk of South Florida, 95.3, 96.9, AM 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG Live station.
Traveling and need a COVID test? Maybe you need a COVID
crazy.
test for work or school. Stop by Any Lab Test Now of Boca or Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. They offer all the COVID testing panels you need at the lowest prices, including the antibody test. Results in 15 minutes. Any Lab Test Now of Boca is located in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough on the east side of 441 State Road 7. Call 561-237-5009. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University Drive in Ramblewood, near the Coral Square Mall in Coral Springs. Call 954-906-5983. Make sure to tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great job Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting did on his new roof. We have on the line John from Wellington, one of our regular callers. He just had his roof repaired by Laporta Contracting, and he wanted to share his experience.
Thanks to the Steve Kane Show, my roof repairs were just completed by Laporta Contractors. They were fast, professional, and the cost of the repairs was very reasonable. I've had 4 sections of roof repaired, and upon initial inspection, they were honest and told me that my roof was good and I didn't need a new one. I called many roofers, and they were all scammers.
Oh, man.
They all wanted to put on a new roof, and they said they wouldn't repair.
That is I didn't have time to play all of it. It's over 6 minutes long. I only got to play about 2.5, 3 minutes of it before the top of the hour break. But that is scary.
Call for a no-charge inspection of your roof. 954-604-4602. That number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
This is Scott from Cut My Kill.
We're coming back, guys. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Everyone, please like the video and share on all your social media if you can. We're getting close to that 50,000 subscriber mark. So if you guys can help me do that, that'd be awesome. Tell your friends about the channel and all that. That would be great. Now, those of you who caught this on my social media last night, when I get back, I'm going to talk about the man wearing high heels I saw at the airport yesterday. And I'll show you guys a picture in a minute. It's on I tweeted it yesterday.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guests alone, and not those of Vic
Call
Canellis
though,
Media
also
Group, its
call
parent
and
affiliates,
tell
or
me
stations.
your
VCMG
personal
Live is
review
not responsible for any
of Greta Van
content,
Susteren's first
information, or
show.
opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for
There
their
we go.
reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, the longest-running radio show in Florida, on the air since 1977. This year celebrating 45 years on the air. Now, Steve Kane with Brian Craig.
All right, hour number 2 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. That's right, Florida's longest-running radio show, celebrating 45 years this year on the radio, the Steve Kane Show. All right, now, you're welcome to call in about anything I've brought up in the first hour, and that was a frightening first hour when we see what's going on in this country. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I had an experience at the Fort Lauderdale airport yesterday that I'm going to tell you about it now. My daughter flew back home from California yesterday. I picked my daughter up at the airport yesterday afternoon, and I'm waiting for her at the baggage claim. And at the baggage claim next to me, there was a young man who was about 25 years old. He had a heavy beard, a beard thicker than I could grow. Like we're getting in like Duck Dynasty kind of beard. And he was wearing shorts and a shirt, similar, button up, Florida tropical shirt. And he was wearing, keep in mind, 25-year-old man with a beard, wearing shorts and a, Florida type shirt, very hairy legs, and high heels. And, I think I'm the only one who was around who thought anything was off with it. I did tweet. I took a photograph of this strange young man from behind and put it on Twitter yesterday. And I will show it to people watching on YouTube Live in just a moment. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see this. I'll show you the photograph on YouTube in just a moment. And I don't understand. And it was very confusing because he had the thick, full beard and the ladies' high heels. And these particular high heels, they don't seem all that stylish to me. They seem a little out of date. They actually reminded me, they're white with a thick heel in the back. I don't know the names for different types of ladies' shoes, but these are definitely ladies' shoes. But they remind me of exact pair of shoes that my grandmother used to wear, who passed away in the 80s. And I found it disturbing. This is for a number of reasons. I'm asking myself why. Why is he wearing high heels? Because this isn't like I've met people through my work. I've talked about this who are, cross-dressers and things like this, female impersonators, even transgender people. And from the experience I've had encountering transgender people in my lifetime, men who are, transitioning to female, they want to look like a woman. And they do everything they can to look like a woman. They wear women's clothes, they wear makeup, they got wigs on, they shave their legs, they do everything they can do to look like a woman. Okay, I get that. But this guy, although he's a little effeminate, he's got a thick beard, men's clothes on, he doesn't shave his legs, and he's wearing the female high heels. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's very strange. I don't know what this is about. I don't know what I was trying to figure out with this guy. Is he transitioning? Or is this a fashion statement? Like I remember when breaking was in, guys had those, we'd wear those fat laces for a while. Is this just like a fashion statement? Is this some new gender thing going? I don't know. If you watch on YouTube, I'm going to show the photograph to the YouTube viewers in a moment. So when I do, I want you guys to call in and share your thoughts. I don't know if this is a transitioning person or not, or if this is a fashion statement. No one seemed to notice, except for me. And I snapped the picture, so I could show it to you guys and talk about it. And it's also concerning to me. It's also concerning to me because I don't know how the American population is not going to suffer a major decline in our birth rate. Okay? The age of people to reproduce are in such a strange place. They're not having sex as much as previous generations because they're all in the computers and everything. They don't leave their computers. They don't have normal person-to-person interactions anyway. And then you throw in, like, this guy with the lady's shoes on at the Fort Lauderdale airport yesterday. Who is he into? Is he into women? Is he into guys? Is he gay? Is he straight? You don't know these days. It's weird. And I don't know what to make of it. I really don't. It's confusing. Obviously he's confusing. And I'm when it comes to somebody living their life, I'm all for people living their life the way they want to live it. Okay? But now we're in a new territory right now. The illegal immigration going on into this country, hundreds of thousands of people are coming here. And I'll tell you what, they're not confused about their genders. It's not just a large population coming in, they're having babies here. It's part of the process to stay here. Part of the immigration process is to get into the country and have a baby or more. Okay? So there is no way, with all this strange stuff going on in the way of gender and everything, that we can reproduce Americans at a rate greater than those who are coming into this country illegally and then having babies when they're here. There's a major demographic change about to take place. And one of the things after the COVID lockdown period that we found was that the birth rates declined. People thought there was going to be a baby boom during the lockdowns because people were locked up at home. That did not take place. And I think we have an idea why now, because of things like this guy in the lady's shoes. He's got other problems too. His selection in ladies' shoes is pretty poor. On top of that. So I want to hear your thoughts on this. And those of you watching on YouTube, I'd like to hear you too. I just showed everyone on YouTube the guy at the airport at baggage claim. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call from anywhere, no matter where you're listening to us. And, this isn't about like these old debates over gay rights, the sanctity of marriage. What we're talking about now is what is going to happen to the American culture and the American civilization if we are not reproducing. We had a caller yesterday about the tampon shortage who said something very interesting that Marjorie Taylor Greene talked about yesterday, this tampon shortage. One of our callers early on yesterday, a lady called in and shared her theory, and Marjorie Taylor Greene has the same theory. She thinks there's a tampon shortage because tampons are being put in men's rooms and that men are actually buying them for themselves. I don't know what they're doing with them. I don't want to know what they're doing with them, but that's what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. Well, and I think there may be something to that. The tampon market has expanded a little bit lately with all these strange things that are going on, and that very well may be why there is a shortage. Now, back to this guy at the airport. I was talking earlier in the week, I think on one of my YouTube streams over the weekend about this. Libs of TikTok most of what libs of TikTok are about people like this guy I saw at the airport in the lady's shoes yesterday. Callers on hold, stand by. I'm just going to finish and I'll go right to the phones. A lot of this, the majority of the normalization of this gender thing that's going on is done through TikTok. And my personal belief is this. We all know China owns TikTok. I believe China is allowing this type of thing to become very popular on TikTok as a way to weaken the United States. This guy wearing the women's shoes, he's a military age guy. The men of military age don't even know what gender they are now. Okay? How can we be ready military? And look how fast it's happened. And it's getting worse. More common. This is a psych op going on from the CCP through TikTok. And it's having a huge impact, and they're being very successful with it. That's my opinion on what's going on here. And I really do believe that. I'm not trying to be funny. I know it sounds nuts. Our number toll free, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi. Matthew from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Matthew.
So first of all, do you know why the United States has birthright citizenship? Do you know where that comes from? Which is part of the immigration problem? So many of them, they want to have children.
Tell me, Matthew. Tell me, Matthew.
It's actually because of the 14th Amendment. After the Civil War, Reconstruction, they didn't know what to do with the former freed slaves.
Yeah.
The way that they said we'll give them status is, okay, if you're born here, then you automatically are a citizen. And they specifically said it would not apply to an invading army from Mexico. So.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. And it was also used for the Indian population. All Native Americans are U.S. citizens, and that was done as well. And what you have is kind of a loophole that's being exploited.
Of course. United States is the only democracy that titles birthright citizenship. No other country, not Australia, not Israel, not Canada.
That's correct.
Not UK, only us. And it's only because of this strange vagary of our history, because of the Civil War and the former...
And I'll tell you, this Uvalde, the tragedy in Uvalde, I'm very curious when you get to the parents and the children, how many of them are illegal. How many of them are the anchor babies, you know what I mean, from Uvalde. And that's one of the reasons I think they got out of Uvalde. Like, we didn't see the big funerals and things you would typically see in the news. I think they didn't want people to know that this is a town of illegals and anchor babies.
Well, it's a spreading issue, as you pointed out on your show many, many times. Just quickly on the other thing, and you're talking about the influence of TikTok on gender fluidity. That may be accelerating it, but I think it's way before that and additional amounts. I do believe that as you start to see some of these former transgender advocates who've been saying it's now in vogue, partly because of social media, but because all these Gen Zs, everybody has to be special, and it's very hard to be special, right? You have to actually have skills or accomplishments. So it's actually an increasing trend, and you see it in schools. The number of transgender students is rapidly accelerating, and it's...
Yeah, this guy at the airport, though, okay, that I'm talking about, at the Fort Lauderdale airport yesterday, he's got a full, thick beard, like Duck Dynasty beard. He's wearing a man's shirt, man's pants, and ladies' high heels. He's not living as a woman. He's a biological male. What's the high heels, but you got a beard, and it's like the bearded lady at the carnival. What's his? But he's a man. What's his thing?
He may just be, again, experimenting with the ability to stand out and be noticed. I mean,
he accomplished that, at least with me.
Well, so he's on your show. You're talking about him. I mean, in some ways, he's accomplished. He wanted more people to notice him. The odd thing, as you pointed out, is you were the only one to notice him. People say, okay, that's not so special. But I do believe, particularly in children, it's becoming a pandemic of an idea where they say, okay, this is something to get me noticed. Maybe when you or I are age, who would kind of dress in makeup. That would be.
Well, okay, hey, I'm losing the call, but take care. You know where this very well may have begun? It may, we talk about Disney. Disney owns Star Wars now. This may have begun, the Steve Kane Show began on the radio in Orlando in 1977, the year Star Wars came out in theaters. Now, Star Wars was not part of Disney then. It was part of, George Lucas owned it then. It is now. But Star Wars did something to young men that had never been done before. Do you know what that was? What do you think? What did Star Wars do? That was the beginning of this. Star Wars got little boys to start playing with dolls. Now they didn't call them dolls, they called them action figures. I did it myself. I've got an entire Darth Vader carrying case that has all the action figures I have left from Star Wars that I used to play with, and they're pretty heavily worn because I played with. They got us. George Lucas got boys playing with dolls, but he just called them action figures, and that probably was the beginning of this. Yeah, that's right. Hollywood, leftist Hollywood. I'm not kidding. By the way, I'm serious as a heart attack about this. We are in new territory that none of us have been in before, and it's not good. All right, our number toll free 1-888-GO Kane 1-888-465-2631. I want to tell you about Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. They will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle does not need. They work on my family's cars, Steve's family's cars, and I know your family's too, because every time I stop by Champagne Automotive, if I don't run into a listener, they're pointing out all the cars that are being worked on there that do belong to listeners of the program. But when I tell you that they will not do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle does not need, we put them to the test. And Steve did this with his son, Tyler, who took his car, needed some work done on it, took his car to one of those big name chain places, had them go over it bumper to bumper, and they printed out a list of all the repairs and maintenance that the car, they said, needed. He didn't get anything done. Then Tyler, Steve's son, took the car up to Champagne Automotive, did not show them the list, had them look it over bumper to bumper, and they told him what repairs and maintenance that the car actually needed. The first place that Steve's son went to told him he needed $843.12 in repairs and maintenance that the vehicle did not need. That's right. Finding an honest auto mechanic used to be a hard thing to do until we found Champagne Automotive. Now we know where they are, right here in Boca. We have listeners that drive over an hour each way because, hey, it's worth it, right? You find an honest auto mechanic, you want to go there no matter how far you got to drive. And you know what? Their prices are great too. They also have the most advanced air conditioning diagnostic system there. So if you don't think it's hot these days, oh man, if you don't think your auto AC is working properly or blowing cold enough air, go over to Champagne Automotive Repair. Have them hook it up to their machine, which is the most advanced air conditioning diagnostic machine known to the industry. And, hey, have them take a look, okay? They're located, of course, in Boca. Here's the number, 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. We'll be right back with your calls after this. Don't go anywhere.
So you've been told you need a health test. What are you going to have to pay? Health tests can be very expensive. If you go to your doctor's office,
Steve Kane Show.
big labs, it can cost you hundreds of dollars.
Hey, hold on.
Sometimes I haven't had lab tests because of the cost. Then I discovered.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Any lab test now
Yeah.
with Coral Springs goal is to get you all the
Stretch Armstrong and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No doctor's order or prescription needed either. You can walk right in and have any of their thousands of lab tests done for just a fraction of the price the big labs or your doctor's office charge. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now at Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. Any lab test now of Coral Springs. Private and affordable lab testing. 954-906-5983.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, callers on hold, standby. Okay, I'm getting all these, I'm getting text messages from friends, I'm getting DMs on Twitter, and then Rich Allen came in the studio and says, you're wrong, Brian, it's G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe. While technically accurate, not fully accurate, okay? It was George Lucas and Star Wars that got boys playing with dolls called action figures. G.I. Joe was a minor thing and had all male action figures at that point, okay? Star Wars, I remember I got the first Star Wars action figure, Boba Fett, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Chewbacca, R2-D2, C-3PO, and Princess Leia. See, Star Wars got the boys playing with girl dolls called action figures. See, that's what I'm, So anyway, no, I was right. You guys are wrong. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. It's Berta.
Yes, Berta.
From Texas. Listen, have you ever heard of what they call this new thing called pansexual? Maybe that guy was a pansexual.
Yeah, I've heard the word. I don't know what it means, though.
It means, this is what my daughter told me, because I didn't know what it was either. Pansexual means that your sexual choice, it depends, like maybe today I want to be with a woman, or maybe tomorrow I feel like I want to be with a man. So it's not really bisexual, it's that I feel that I could be the masculine in the relationship in this situation, and tomorrow I'll be the feminine.
Well, I call that, and this is an old joke I've told for many, many years, but I call that trisexual. They'll try it with anyone. Yeah.
What sexual it is, but it's gone nuts.
Now, this guy, did you see on YouTube when I showed this guy at the airport?
I saw the picture, but that's typical in Florida. I saw a lot.
Oh my goodness, that's not typical in Florida. I'm in Florida. I don't see. Then why was I so shocked by it?
I mean, for years.
Well, if you go to the gay areas of any city, Miami South Beach is a gay place.
I go to Macy's. I go to anywhere, and well, there's other situations. I guess I'm more exposed to it, to be honestly with you, because my 36-year-old son is homosexual.
Okay, gay. Okay, so you hang around gays, so you're gonna see it more. Yeah.
Around gays. My Thanksgivings are not fun. Remember, he's a liberal. I'm a conservative, so we don't talk, which is sad.
Really? Even at Thanksgiving?
Even at Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's sad.
He's so. When I tell you, I can't say I'm embarrassed to say, but it's just the TDS.
Trump derangement syndrome.
Yes, he has it 100%, and he cannot stand how gung ho, and to me, how I get with President Trump is the best.
Well, not knowing your son, my guess would be, because I see this with guys a lot. What they don't like about President Trump is never what they tell you. They have a problem with strong, macho, John Wayne type men, and that's President Trump.
Exactly.
Manly men, a man's man. Yeah.
He's so this, he's so that. And Brian, it's really sad. What people say is true. Ever since 2016, relationships has.
Oh, that's too bad. And this is so interesting. He wants. So you're accepting of his gay life, but he's not accepting of your political life. I mean, that doesn't sound very tolerant of your gay son.
I already said that to him.
Yeah.
My husband is really unaccepting of him. He's very, very far-right conservative.
Well, I think it's easier for a dad and a parent to have a gay daughter than it is a gay son.
Well, it's shocking at first because we grew up in another era, Brian. Right now, we're supposed to accept everything, except for, pansexuals and all this stuff. But the thing is, if that's your preference, hey, go for it. Just leave me out of it. I don't need to be part of your world. And maybe that's where the disconnect is.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. It's your freedom of choice and who you want to be. I have nothing against that. But you don't have to go, 60 miles away and choose that bakery when you came through all this. We were fighting about that.
Oh yeah, that bakery was targeted. And yeah. The Christian bakers we're talking about. The word was out in the gay community that they were Christian, and they were targeted.
Very, very hard. It's very hard being very conservative, but I love my son regardless. And hopefully one day he would change and he can accept me as a conservative mom.
Well, the thing that's going on, it's back in the days, like in the Pat Robertson, Christian Coalition, Ralph Reed era, everything they said, if you accept gays, all these things would happen. That sounded so outrageous. We're beyond light years what Ralph Reed and Pat Robertson and the others predicted we would be with what's going on with this gender stuff.
Because now I'm supposed to be accepting of it and bend over. I have to, support the gay rights that went to this bakery that was targeted when I think it wasn't right. Because the thing, it's either right or wrong. I understand if you go to the bakery a mile away and they decide that's a different issue, but it was targeted. Another thing on Greta, she's always been an intelligent reporter, don't get me wrong, but she doesn't have charisma.
Yeah, she's boring.
She's boring.
Dated.
Brian, that could be another good blog for you. Microchips is a problem, and I'm going to tell you why. My husband, his business is in Miami. My husband has a car repair, performance parts. It's all parts for cars, high-end, and also for sports performance. So he's having a problem because a lot of his shipments that he's patented comes from China.
Oh, no. You're right. I'm not saying that microchips are not a problem, but when you have a launch of your new national television show, you don't start it talking about microchips. You start it talking about this Rocky Horror Picture Show thing that I saw at the airport yesterday. You know what I mean? You want to be more exciting on your first show.
The best governor.
Oh, don't we?
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the best governor. Okay, I can't wait to see him in the White House at work.
I would love to show this picture at the airport I have to Governor DeSantis. I'd love to hear Governor DeSantis' reaction.
He'll laugh.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, Brian, over here in East Texas, the car companies like Honda, Toyota, with Ford, they have no brand new cars.
Mm-hmm.
They're empty. But of course, I live in a little town, suburb town, and I was asking my brother, what about the cars over there? Because over here, since my husband's into cars, we notice these things, right?
Yeah.
So the big deal is that the Taiwan, the chips that they have, belong to these brand new cars. So we have a shortage of cars too.
Yeah. Well, maybe we should make chips in America. How about that? But I'm not saying it's not. There are lots of there are lots of things that are important, but that are also boring. And if we spent a segment talking about microchips right now, I'd lose the entire audience. And when I'm launching a show on television, I want to have an exciting launch, not talking about microchips. Do you agree with me though? That audio I played in the first hour, that's what I would have started with. Do you agree or disagree with me that her hair and clothing, that Greta Van Susteren looks like Don Johnson from Miami Vice?
She's looked like that for years.
Yes, I know. All right, thanks for the call. Berta in Texas, take care. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, it's John in Wellington.
Hey, John.
First thing, if a man is dressed like a man and he looks like a man and he acts like a man, but he's wearing high heel shoes, he's mentally unstable and he's screaming for attention. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And
with hairy legs.
Yeah, that's a cry for help, whether he realizes it or not. And as far as shortages are concerned, the United States as a country needs to be able to create its own cotton. We need to pump our own oil out of.
Yeah, what is what do we import cotton in America now? We don't grow our own cotton anymore.
The fertilizer. We allowed the Soviet Union or Ukraine to make our fertilizer. How did that come about? It's fertilizer, for Pete's sake. People in the United States their own food, and we need to be responsible for our own issues. We used to be the world's breadbasket. We need to get that back. My big question is, which president allowed all this to happen? Who out?
Well, a part of it, I'll tell you what part of it is. It's the federal government paying farmers to grow corn that no one's ever going to eat for the ethanol stuff. So a lot of farmers stopped growing food crops to get their government subsidies from the corn and the ethanol, things like that, a bunch of stuff, government corruption.
Exactly. But we've got to stop allowing enemies of our country to make things that we are dependent upon and to grow things.
Well, the problem is our Congress and our presidents have been selling us out. For 50, 60, 70 years, everything's been outsourced because of that. All right, John in Wellington, I got to take a break. Thanks for the call. 34 minutes after the hour, it's the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
The line from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca.
If you are new here, make sure you subscribe. Everyone like the video.
Metal's looking great.
Now, I wanted to ask you about
We
a couple
got,
things. Now, listeners call and ask me questions. I know nothing.
Let me see. I got so much to talk about. I'm not sure what to talk about next.
Ask you about. I've heard from people. One,
It's hard to choose.
do you deal in pre-33 gold?
Absolutely. We've made a mark.
Let's see here.
33 gold since
Oh, yes.
1959 or 57, actually.
Yes. I'll get to this thing with the climate czar. Oh, my goodness. This thing with the climate czar is unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff. I mean, we're just under attack in this country. There's no getting around that, you know. And, you know, the Democrats, they're ramping things up because they're losing. They only have this short window to get their whole agenda through. Steve Kane Show.
Wow.
Hold on. So they're ramping things up pretty quick here. So it's going to be a rough few months. Maybe the guy in the airport lost a bet. I don't think so. He probably thinks he won a bet.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that only are like exclusive pre-33 gold. That's amazing. $500.
Good morning, Sharon, one of our members. By the way, you members out there, I've uploaded some exclusive member content that you can check out.
Listen, William Youngerman, the number 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. The address 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. All right, that's it. All right, take care. Take care.
Do you suffer from neuropathy, back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center.
Sounds like a homophobe. No, I'm not a homophobe.
6642 for a no-charge.
But you got to make babies.
When you mention you heard them
right?
on the radio, 754-222-6642 or online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
I don't even know what sexuality that guy is. He's got a Duck Dynasty beard and high heel shoes and hairy legs. I wouldn't assume he's gay. Caitlyn Jenner says that he dates girls, so no. You like the shirt? Thank you. Yeah, these are Florida oranges since I'm in Florida.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative.
Oh, hey, Doug.
You know, I was driving around yesterday listening to Sean Hannity, and he brought out something that I don't know if I remember hearing or if I just forgot it. But Joe Biden, it says to the camera, "Look in my eyes. I guarantee you, I will get rid of fossil fuel." You know,
who said that? Who said that?
Joe Biden.
Why? Why would he do that? Why would he do that?
I have no idea, because he wants to get rid of fossil fuel. This is, I guess, as he was running for office or when he got, I don't know exactly when it was, but for somebody to say that, and the media talks about everything else but something like that,
I don't understand, other than corruption and being paid off by all the green crap companies and stuff. Even Elon Musk, who the Tesla guy, says no, we shouldn't do that. It makes no sense. What's wrong with oil? I don't understand.
Something like that. If we had batteries that go 1,000 miles or hydrogen or whatever, everything's ready to go. And when there's still people who want to use fossil fuel, maybe then you could say, all right, let's get rid of fossil fuel. But now, wrecking our economy because the fossil fuel is going so expensive, this guy wants to end fossil fuel. Obviously, something is wrong with this guy.
Yeah, is that why he's going to Saudi Arabia, to tell them that OPEC's got to shut down?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess maybe he finally got the message that, oh, that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Please help us out.
Yeah.
This is very sad. But the other thing I wanted to mention, Greta, man, she's boring, like you said. I tried to watch it, and I said, nah, man. First of all, she's hard to look at, number one, but I thought her show was not worth watching.
I'm going to give her one more night. The first night, I'll give her a break. They had a technical snafu in the beginning, but you know, the worst thing, in my opinion, that you can say about a show, a radio show or a television news show, is boring. You don't want it to be boring. It's got to be interesting. And frankly, you know, I like Mark Levin's radio show a lot, but I find Mark Levin's TV show boring. But it is not as boring as Greta Van Sustern's show was last night. And then I'll tell you, right after that, that Rob Schmidt comes on, who's hot on all the hot topics, including, I had this audio beforehand, but the guy that came on after her led with that Hunter Biden audio that I played in the first hour. Schmidt, he went through it with guests. So that's what she should have been doing.
Before, but I thought he was pretty good, you know.
Yeah, he's very good, and she is, boring. You think she looks like Don Johnson from Miami Vice?
Oh, I like Don Johnson. I wouldn't say that.
I like Don Johnson too. It's not an insult to him; it's an insult to her.
That's for sure.
All right, take care, Conservative Doug. Take care. Yeah, speaking of the fossil fuels, the climate czar. These Democrats love czars, I guess because of the Russian connection. This is the climate czar, John Kerry, talking yesterday. He flew to some summit somewhere on a private jet. This guy won't even jet pool. And he's telling us that we're consuming too much, we're polluting too much.
The energy security worry is driving a lot.
Energy security worry? This guy he tells us that there's crises and problems that I've never heard of before.
The energy security worry is driving a lot of the thoughts now about, oh, we need more drilling of gas, we need more drilling of this, we need to go back to coal. No, we don't. We absolutely don't.
You know, we are the Saudi Arabia of coal. Why would we not want to use coal? We have more coal than any other country on earth.
And we have to prevent a false narrative from entering into this, or, again, pun intended, we are cooked.
Okay, we are. You're just so funny, John Kerry. What a snob. You know, the reason John Kerry is against coal is because Iran is an oil-rich nation, and his friends over there in Iran, they like their oil. They want us to reduce. You know, this is just like the Paris Climate Agreement, right? All these agreements we make, the United States signs them and adheres to them and reduces our output, but the rest of the world doesn't. So if the United States reduces our oil import, our oil production, who does that benefit? Iran, Saudi Arabia, OPEC, even Venezuela. Venezuela is an OPEC nation. A lot of people don't know that. You know, so if you see these corrupt public officials, Biden, Kerry, and all the rest, this is how they sell us out. They get, to reduce our carbon footprint in America. To do that, you have to reduce your production levels. But the other countries don't do it. We reduce our oil production, it increases theirs or makes theirs more valuable. This is how they sell it. They can't sell out the other countries because they don't have any pull over there. They can sell America out because that's where they have the power, the authority, and they control everything. So all this stuff is about reducing our output of all these things to make the products more valuable to these other countries, or they can increase their output and sell more even. Don't you understand? That's the selling out of America. Here's our multi-millionaire energy secretary yesterday.
You filled up your EV by charging.
An EV is electric vehicle.
If you filled up your EV by charging, and you filled up your gas tank with gasoline, and you have the same size tank, you would save $60 per fill-up by going electric rather than using gasoline. So it's a very compelling case. But again, to your point, we want to bring down the price at the point of purchase.
Okay. So, yeah, it's easy for her to say. You know, here, you know, we're actually, every summer, Scott from Cut My Kilowatts joins us and talks about how he can save you money on your electric bill. You know, yesterday, when I went to pick my daughter up at the airport, it was 91 degrees. The heat index was like 99. And for those of you up north, the heat index is kind of like the wind chill in reverse. It's what it feels like as compared to what the real temperature is. And Scott from Cut My Kilowatts joins us every summer on how to cut your electric bill. Why? Because electric bills are high, because air conditioning is life. And in fact, in many homes, the biggest bill is the electric bill, especially during the summer. I run my air conditioner every day of the year, and it's running overtime to keep the house cool when it's hotter out, right? That's what Cut My Kilowatts does, is makes it so your air conditioning doesn't have to run as long. Imagine you've got electric vehicles. How many cars are in your family? I have a car, my wife has a car, and my daughter has a car. Could you imagine if we had to plug in 3 cars into our house? I don't think I'd want to pay that electric bill. Doing that every day on top of my AC bill, these people are out of their minds. It's easy for them because they're millionaires. I'm not. Some of you are, I know, but most of you are not. All right. Here's the climate czar yesterday. They're on a tear now. This is the climate czar yesterday.
And so the challenge is, now that we're moving from denial to actually...
Denial means that you don't agree with them that man-made climate change is happening. You're in denial.
And so the challenge is, now that we're moving from denial to actually just trying to disengage the public from understanding the values of solar energy, the values of wind energy, the benefits of clean energy. We have to get tighter. We have to get better at communicating. And frankly, the tech companies have to stop allowing specific individuals over and over again to spread disinformation.
Oh, okay. So they want, this is where that ministry of truth was going to work. So if you disagree, even if you're a scientist who disagree with them about climate change, you should be silenced. Well, to me, they seem to be baby deniers when it comes to the science of unborn children inside the womb, right? Why aren't they silenced? Because they have a scientific disagreement with a large portion of the medical community. It's only us. Aren't they science deniers? It's only us that have to be silenced. See, they can't. Let me tell you about all these people, then we'll break. If the planet Earth was not going to be able to sustain life in the future because of all these activities, not only would all of them stop taking private planes and everything, they would never travel, right? They would do everything over Zoom because they want to reduce the carbon footprint. You know, someone like John Kerry pollutes in a year what an average American would pollute in a decade, maybe even 2 decades, because of all the private jet travel and the mansions and the electrical output on those mansions. They're not living as if they're in fear of the earth not being able to sustain human life. When all of these climate change alarmists start living a life that shows that they are in fear that the planet will no longer be able to support life as we know it, then I'd say, okay, well, maybe there's something to this. But it seems they're living pretty large. All right, we're going to take the last break of the second hour of the program. Steve Kane will be joining us after the top of the hour break. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Back right after this.
The hot weather, it's in the mid-90s in the middle of the day, and that's what the actual temperature is. The heat index, much higher than that. That means your air conditioner is going to work harder and harder, driving up your electric bill. And on the line, we have Scott from Cut My Kilowatts, who's going to save you big, big money on your electric bill. Tell them how you're going to do it, Scott.
Hey, Brian. Well, we do it with the radiant barrier insulation insulation and making sure that none of your air conditioning ducts are leaking into your attic. But I have Rebecca on the line with me, who's a longtime Steve Kane listener, and we had the pleasure of going up and doing a whole attic package for her at her house on Wednesday of this week. And we put all new ducts in for her, radiant barrier, and all new insulation. And she just wants to tell you how her experience was.
Good morning. I wanted to let you know that this morning, first of all, the people that came out, his crew, were very, very polite, and they did the work. It's a very difficult job to go up in an attic, pull out all the old ducts, come in and put in all new ducts, extra additional ducts to make my system work better. I'm in the construction industry. I'm an architect, so I'm familiar with what the cost should be and how much time it takes to do everything. And let me tell you, I was very impressed, and my attic looks like a spaceship up there with all new ducts. They took out the metal duct that was insulated and leaking on my ceiling, and they put in flex duct, which is what we use now in the industry. But let me tell you, what I paid for the entire package should have cost just to remove the old ductwork and install new ductwork, and I got everything for less than what I thought it was.
Well, that's amazing. And when Scott from Cut My Kilowatts brings that radiant barrier into your attic, it pays for itself, because what it does, it cools off your ceiling, cools off your attic, keeps that hot Florida heat that's well over 100 degrees in your attic off of your air conditioning ducts, which means your
All right, we're getting ready to come back, guys.
Works less to keep your house cool and comfortable for you, which means you have lower electrical bills. It works. Listen, guys, give Scott at Cut My Kilowatts a call. His number's listed at SteveKaneShow.com, as is his website if you miss it. His number, which rings directly to him, 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500. That's Scott from Cut My Kilowatts.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, we are back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. You know, I'll tell you this, I am so tired of this story, which I'm going to mention, of Kim Kardashian and the Marilyn Monroe dress. I guess it didn't get the play that she wanted it, and now there's this story going around that she damaged the dress. Okay, and people are upset that she damaged. This is the dress that, if you don't know what this is about, Kim Kardashian went to, I forget what the event was, some star-studded red carpet nonsense, stupid event, and she somehow got the dress that Marilyn Monroe sang happy birthday to President Kennedy in. And they're saying that she damaged the dress with her overly large rear end, and they want her to repair it. And I've heard some people talk about how this is a national heirloom and things like this. Let me tell you, go on YouTube after the Steve Kane Show is over. Don't do it now. We don't want you to turn off the radio. And look at that video. That is a disgusting display. First off, Marilyn Monroe, I'm not talking about Kim Kardashian. I'm talking about Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe looked like she was high as hell. And when she sang happy birthday to President Kennedy was with Jacqueline Kennedy. Okay? And she was coming on to him. Either they just had sex or they were about to after. And it was one of the most disgusting displays I've ever seen in public involving a president of the United States. And I think the dress is important. This putting Marilyn Monroe, that was a disgusting thing she did, and how incredibly disrespectful to the First Lady. And this whole story is all fake news put out by Kim Kardashian. You know, and Kim Kardashian's she's a terrible person. I know President Trump is friends with her. I get it. I respect that because he's friends with her. However, why is Kim Kardashian famous? Why is she famous? Two things. Two things make her famous. Murder and porn. Okay? Kim Kardashian is famous because her father helped O.J. Simpson get away with murdering 2 people. That's how the name Kardashian got famous. Right? But that wasn't enough. People heard the name, but it still didn't make her famous. So what happened? She made a porno movie that just somehow, you know, I guess like the Pam and Tommy video got stolen and really... She made a movie of her having sex with her boyfriend at the time, Ray J. And so Kim Kardashian is, I got to tell you, sleazier than even Marilyn Monroe was. Marilyn Monroe was sad. You know, Marilyn Monroe was sad because she was abused by men. Okay? She was abused by the Kennedys and God knows who else. Okay? And someone got her hooked on the drugs and all of that stuff. Kim Kardashian, she's not a victim. She's made herself famous on 2 god-awful, terrible murders and a sex tape. So I don't know why people put her up on some pedestal as if she's someone to respect. She's a low-life, very... I mean, she is of lower... Now, this is saying a lot. Kim Kardashian is of lower moral character than Kamala Harris. I know Kamala Harris dated a married man. That's like one thing that we know of. She didn't make herself a worldwide name off a porno movie that she made herself and the murders of 2 sad and innocent people. Yeah. Now, this one here, you know, I've not had Ben & Jerry's ice cream in years. I have not, and I do like Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I really do. My favorite Ben & Jerry's flavor that they ever had was the oatmeal. Any of you guys ever have the oatmeal Ben & Jerry's? Oh my goodness. I am a big Ben & Jerry's fan, but I have not eaten it in years because they're too woke. They got a Kaepernick flavor. I mean, you know, they're just ridiculous. Listen to this. This is crazy. And I share this because I know a lot of you like Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's has required new employees to watch video lecturers featuring Palestinian activists lying about Israel. Remember the other day we got a call from Rome, Wisconsin, and she said that her husband's employer was making him walk and march in a gay pride parade to get a raise. I tell you, these liberals. So now Ben & Jerry's, they're making their employees watch anti-Semitic videos. The Ben & Jerry videos are part of what the ice cream company has dubbed their Scooper series. This is their social mission. If you look at the recent... Now this is from the videos. I'm reading I want you guys, these are not my words. I am reading a transcript from the Ben & Jerry's anti-Semitic videos that they force new employees to watch. This is what it says. This is a transcript, and I'm quoting here. If you look at the recent escalation that took place in May of 2021, it started over discriminatory efforts to force Palestinians out of their homes in occupied East Jerusalem as part of a larger policy. Omar Shakir, who was expelled from Israel in 2019, says. Shakir was referring to Sheikh Jarrah, known to Jews as the I can't pronounce these words. I'm sorry, guys. Which lies in Jerusalem, north of the Old City, and it goes into a lot of details about this and everything else. But anyway, without reading the whole article, give up your Ben & Jerry's ice cream. I know it's tough. I like Ben & Jerry's. You like Ben & Jerry's. I gave it up long ago. And you know, as you know, that oatmeal Ben & Jerry's, I don't think they make that anymore. I love it. But you know what Ben & Jerry's ice cream tastes like? You know what it tastes like? Hate. That's what it tastes like. That's what they used to say about Chick-fil-A. Remember that when they were going after Chick-fil-A? It tastes like hate, Chick-fil-A. That's how Ben & Jerry's tastes, because it's filled with hate. Now, this thing about Israel and their pro-Palestinian thing, okay? Biden's going to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is important for one reason and one reason only: oil. The Middle East is not only filled with oil, there are Palestinian Muslims all over the Middle East, including many in Saudi Arabia. The Middle East is a place that is rich in oil. There's one place in Israel that's not rich with natural resources. It's called Israel. Okay? You're telling me that they got to have this one area, this one little tiny area where the Jews are, Okay? You know, all these liberals, like Ben and Jerry's, will tell you that we live on U.S.-occupied Native American Indian territory, right? Well, they wouldn't say Indian because that's not woke enough. Well, Israel, we know who the indigenous people of Israel are. The indigenous people of Israel are the Jews. We know this because the Bible tells us so. Okay? Now, there might be a dispute on what the borders were in biblical times and today, but give me a break. All right? The reason that there is an Israel today is because when World War II happened, prior to the war, and the rounding up of the Jews began before the war began, countries wouldn't take in the Jews, including President Roosevelt, who would not allow Jews fleeing Nazi-occupied Europe to come to America. He turned them away. Turned Jews away, who went back to die in concentration camps, many of them. And after the war, people said, well, we don't want this to happen again, right? So the United Nations created Israel, even though it already existed because God, you know, as a place for Jews to go to be safe. Because when the Holocaust was happening, all these woke liberal countries and liberal politicians, they wouldn't take them in. And now look what they're doing. They spend all these years trying to tear it down again. So no Ben and Jerry's for me. You shouldn't be eating Ben and Jerry's either. They're just a hateful company, making their employees watch anti-Semitic videos, having a Colin Kaepernick ice cream flavor. I'm not kidding. And they do ask that when you eat the Kaepernick flavor, I don't know what flavor it is, but when you eat this is true. If you can, I saw it on sale at Target, and I in the freezer, and I read the container. I just forget the flavor. Ben and Jerry's recommends that when you eat the Colin Kaepernick flavored ice cream, that you take a knee while you do it, and eat the ice cream only while you're taking a knee. That's true. That's true. All right. We'll take our break for the top of the hour. It's 8 a.m. Steve Kane will be joining us after the top of the hour. Callers on hold, stand by. Back with your calls after this.
This is the Talk of South Florida, 95.3, 96.9, AM 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG Live station.
This is John from Lighthouse Medical Center, CFO and Director.
Steve Kane Show.
We want to welcome you to Lighthouse Medical Center this year. It's our 75th anniversary, and we've been able to help.
Sarah, hold on. You'll be first when we go to the phones. Steve Kane Show, hold on. Steve Kane Show, hold on.
Pain, tingling, lack of sleep, or balance issues, please come see us and let us help you with that problem. There's hope out there for you. We've had thousands of patients come through Lighthouse Medical Center. Being able to see the quality improved in their life and being able to help them and their family has been a blessing to us and a blessing to them, and we look forward to doing that for the next 75 years. We don't just treat neuropathy at Lighthouse Medical Center. We have a specialized knee pain program with non-surgical solutions for bone-on-bone and knee pain issues. We also treat chronic back pain, ankle, knee, hip, and shoulder pain. Call for a free consultation with us today. 754-222-6642. That's 754-222-6642.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray. Many of you are familiar with the famous erection injection, an extremely effective treatment for erectile dysfunction made popular right here on the Steve Kane Show. I'm here to tell you that the erection injection is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the extensive array of treatment options now available at the Biostation West Delray. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis greatly. We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source, such as PRP and sound wave pulse therapies that restore your natural function. State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place, the Biostation West Delray. If you want to correct your erectile problems once and for all, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
All right, we're coming back. Third hour. Oh, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Everyone, please like the video. We're getting closer and closer to that 50,000 subscriber number.
Information and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guests alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, the longest-running radio show in Florida, on the air since 1977. This year celebrating 45 years on the air. Now, Steve Kane.
All right, we are back. Third and final hour of the Wednesday program has begun. I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, man, I'm doing all right. Lots happening.
Here at the beginning of the show, did you go into the election result?
I did not talk anything about that. I was kind of waiting for you, but I was talking about some other thing. But let's take some calls first, though, because the phones have been ringing. And our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, Sarah from Fort Myers.
Sarah in Fort Myers. What's up?
Yeah, I was going to go back to the Greta thing.
Oh, it was yeah.
Spiel off for her. I love Stitchville. They filled in for her. I mean, who wants? You're right. She's out. She's dated. She's unattractive. I'm a female, and I'm like, I love all the men in the row. I love Greg Kelly. I love Stitchfield. I think.
Also, Newsmax is kind of you're into it for the you like look at the guys. I mean, my review of Greta Van Suster's show is pretty simple. It's one word: boring. I'll throw in dated too. Boring, dated. I know you saw it, Steve. It was rough.
It was awful.
That microchip segment, that was riveting. Oh man, I love that microchip segment, Greta. Oh my goodness.
I watched 3 minutes and I was gone.
Why is Stitchville gone?
I don't know. Maybe he pissed someone off. They put him on at midnight. I don't know. But I'll tell you, yeah, go ahead.
They put Greg Kelly at 10. That's horrible.
Well, I'll tell you what's going on here, okay? This is what happened. Greg Kelly has been beating Fox News in the ratings so much that they made a lineup change. They took they took Martha McCallum off. She was up against him. He was beating Fox, put her on in the afternoon. Well, now they got Jesse Kelly, and he's popular, and he's not beating Fox anymore. And I think they put him on against Laura Ingraham. He thinks he can beat Laura Ingraham. Certainly not Hannity or Tucker. That Greta Van Susteren show is a disaster, and I don't mean the technical problems. I get that when you make a change and there's something new, there's going to be glitches. The guy that comes on after her, who's very good, Schmidt, he started with the same story. Yeah, he started his show with the same story that I started the program at 6, and that's that new crack video of Hunter Biden's. That's what she should have started with, something hot, not microchips.
Look at all the. I mean, I love how they had all the macho men in a row. You have even bowling is not bad. He's got much.
Yeah.
You got Bart Schmidt is handsome man. Then you got Greg Kelly.
It sounds like you're not interested in content. You're interested in just checking out the guys.
Well, she's ugly. Let's face it. I don't know why they had to alter the whole thing around her. Why couldn't they make her like 3 o'clock?
And I'll tell you something. They put. Oh boy, I just forgot his name. The guy? He was President Trump's first press spokesperson. Made a fool out of himself on Dancing with the Stars. Spicer. They put Spicer on at 5. They took Spicer out of prime time. He was on.
Chris Salado is better than Sean Spicer.
Anyone's better than Greta. I was talking about this earlier. Steve, we talked about this. We've known people that have done talk radio, and then they leave the business for 5 years, 10 years or more. They go on the air, and they just don't got it. Not that necessarily they ever did, but they're dated. They're talking about things like it's 94 still.
I mean, hell, Clay Davis is better than her.
Oh, now that's... I don't know. I heard that show yesterday, that Rush replacement. Buck Sexton? Buck Sexton?
I don't like him. I like Clay Davis. He's very crystal clear when he talks. He's not a politician, so he doesn't have talking points. He talks like a normal person. But he's not bad. by himself, he's not bad. I like how.
Well, hey, listen, I appreciate the call, all right, from Fort Myers. Take care. Yeah, I'm going to give Greta one more try tonight just to confirm that she's boring, but that was brutal, Steve. I mean, I was brutal.
Unbelievable.
What?
I still think the biggest problem with that was not Greta, although she's a big problem. She is as boring as watching paint dry. But the big problem with that was a producing problem. The guests were all boring. They were dry. They were ancient.
They were her friends.
Well, but you gotta.
That's her.
But a good producer does not put.
You're taking the blame. You're taking the blame from her. She approved of everything. Those were her friends, and then she did this ode to Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, because he had neck surgery. You know, my friend Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was a train wreck, and you know, sometimes something can be such a train wreck that it can be fun to listen to, like the Mark Scheinbaum radio show when that was around. I mean, it was boring, it was a train wreck, but it was you wanted to see how bad it would get. This thing here, there wasn't. You know, the only reason I watched that whole show last night of Greta's is so that I could talk about it. You know, if she picked it up in the last segment, it was exciting. I wanted to make, but it didn't happen. It was, you know. But anyway, you know.
At the top of the hour, how long was it before it was?
Oh my goodness, seconds.
Yes, I said I'm out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Now, so far as these elections last night, I mean, I'm not a Republican won every race, so that's of course good news, no matter what. And I don't know, there was no major excitement for me out of that last night. I mean, I know they're making a big deal. Oh, because they got a Mexican. Yeah, please.
Trump did pretty good though.
Yeah, he did. There was one that he didn't pull through. That President Trump said it was a long shot, but I know I was watching the news early this morning, and they're so excited that there's a Mexican Republican, and you know they got the mariachi bands playing. They're all excited. You know, I don't know anything about this lady. And maybe she's great. I don't know. She was born in Mexico. She's the first Mexican-born member of Congress, and she's a Republican. Conservatives get all excited when minorities become Republicans and win something. And this has a history of backfiring on us. Like, look at little Marco Rubio, who was out there trashing Trump in the first campaign, you know, or Michael Steele. And Republicans are opposed to affirmative action, but when someone who's a minority hits some peak, they're making a big deal, like Jean-Pierre, the press spokeswoman, who said, I'm the first black female gay to have this job. And, you know, and that's a big thing, because I'm black, and I'm a female, and I'm gay. I don't care that she's Mexican-born, you know, it doesn't matter to me. They're making too big of a deal out of that on Fox. You know, and I'll tell you something about Fox that I've suspected. Who's that idiot with the whiteboard? Karl Rove. I knew his name. I just wanted to call him an idiot in a more clever way. But Karl Rove, who I bet he walks around in public with that whiteboard. That's become like his thing. You know, like, remember, like, you know, it's just his thing. He's got to have the whiteboard with him. If you ever run into Karl Rove at the airport, well, you probably wouldn't, because he probably flies private jets. But if you did, and you took a selfie with him, he'd probably have the whiteboard with him. I bet you. But anyway, Karl Rove, a lot of these races, they overblow, and I've had a suspicion, and this could be wrong, this suspicion. Karl Rove is a big political campaign guy. He has his fingers involved in a lot of these campaigns, and he's a big ad buyer of political ads on Fox News Channel and local Fox affiliates nationwide. And I think that he's an infomercial, and I think that they cover I think they cover him and certain things that he's interested in because he's such a big buyer of ad space on there, and a lot of times. I think people. Is he? I find him. I hate listening to Karl Rove. Oh, I'm out of there with Karl Rove.
Oh, he's good, and plus he's got a good expertise.
Yeah.
When he says seriously.
He's a loser. He's a never-Trumper loser. He's all in with the Bushes. No, I don't know. And he looks like a canned ham, too, by the way, on television. But no.
Not his primary asset.
No, he's a big never-Trumper. I know he plays both sides of the field, but he's part of the Bush wing of the Republican establishment. I wouldn't. He's a terrible person. A terrible person. And I don't like his analysis. I don't like the whiteboard, and I just don't like him, Karl Rove. But I just can't get excited, because I'm excited that we, it looks like we have a, that district where the lady won was a Democrat district. We flipped it. It's just a special election to finish out the term, which is like 6 months, right? But there'll be a general election, and she'll be the incumbent, and maybe she'll win that, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
No, it's exciting that we flipped a Democrat district to Republican in Texas near the Mexican border. In fact, I believe I heard them say that district in Texas borders Mexico, that she represents, and actually borders the Mexican state that she was born in. So that's a good thing that we flipped a Democrat red, but I just can't get excited over the fact that she was born in Mexico. I just think that's such a dated thing, It just, we have like full diversity in this country. I just don't think about those things, and Fox News is celebrating that she was born in Mexico like it's some big deal. They sound like Joe Biden. Yeah, Mexicans can be in Congress. Shocker to some of these people. I mean, that's just my thing. I don't know. What do you think, Steve? It's hard. There was nothing. It wasn't like Carrie Lake was elected last night. That would have been exciting.
It was. It sounded like. I mean,
I don't even know these people's names.
That fit in with the theme.
Yeah, I don't even know these people's names. You know what I mean?
It works out.
Now, I was watching Newsmax because I was waiting for Greta, and I put Newsmax on much earlier than I normally would, so I wouldn't forget about Greta. And I caught Chris Salcedo, who's pretty good. Chris Salcedo, he's on now at, I believe, 4 in the afternoon on Newsmax TV, and he's pretty good. I like Chris Salcedo. He's a nice guy. He's a radio talk show host, too. And he had a guest on, and he asked a big question, which I'll play the audio right now. I pulled this off the Chris Salcedo show from Newsmax yesterday. And, he was talking about this assassin that was going to assassinate Kavanaugh and his entire family. They keep saying Kavanaugh. He was targeting the entire family, okay? And this is nothing at this level, to my knowledge, has ever happened. I don't think there's ever been an assassination attempt on a United States Supreme Court justice, other than in the movies. I know this is what the Pelican Brief was about, but that was a movie based on a novel. I don't think this has ever happened in real life before, to my knowledge. But Chris Salcedo, let me play this. He got a guest on. He's talking about why there's been so much resistance to get protection for the Supreme Court after the assassination attempt on Kavanaugh and his family. This is Chris Salcedo from Newsmax yesterday.
A lot of folks are starting to ask some questions out there, Congressman. They're openly wondering why Nancy Pelosi sat on a bill that was passed by the Senate to protect Supreme Court justices. Now she's moving after an assassination attempt on Justice Kavanaugh. Are Americans right to question if Pelosi was actually hoping for or encouraging violence that could lead to Joe Biden appointing a new Supreme Court justice?
Well, now he's interviewing a congressman, so we'll play his answer, but that's the big elephant in the room that everyone's been thinking, right?
It's passed by the Senate to protect Supreme Court justices. Now she's moving after an assassination attempt on Justice Kavanaugh. Are Americans right to question if Pelosi was actually hoping for or encouraging violence that could lead to Joe Biden appointing a new Supreme Court justice?
Well, it certainly questions that Nancy Pelosi and others need to answer as to why she thought somehow Justice Kavanaugh, after having an assassin in his backyard, is somehow safe over the weekend. We could have gotten to this bill last week, but she chose to hold it up, and she needs to answer as to why. I mean, it was 5 years ago that this left-wing gunman, inspired by rhetoric like Republican policies are killing people, tried to kill me and my friends.
He's on the Republican baseball team, this guy, with Scalise.
It's left-wing violence that now we see with Justice Kavanaugh. What did they expect? And it's not a coincidence that the only two justices' names that are being brought up are Justice Kavanaugh and Justice Coney Barrett. And it's the far left that politicized their confirmation process that led to rage in an obviously deranged individual.
Okay. So yeah, so he was on that baseball team that the Bernie Sanders Democrats shot Steve Scalise during the practice, and so this hits home, and So Chris Salcedo, he asked the big question, and if this had been a MAGA guy and it was against one of the Democrats, the whole country would have stopped, and there would have been soldiers on the streets where the Supreme Court justices live. But these Democrats, they finally reluctantly passed something, but reluctantly, and still 24 of them voted against it, Democrats, giving security to the justices. They think that these Supreme Court justices deserve this hate. They brought it upon themselves because they have these radical positions. I mean, these threats against the Supreme Court justice, this is going to become the new norm. We've never had this before. You've always had lunatics out in front of the Supreme Court building, okay? But you've never had people go to their homes before. And maybe we got to get to the point where they need to have a special complex for the Supreme Court justices to live in, because like the president and vice president have, because the Democrats are going to harass the Supreme Court forever now. This is going to be the new normal. Even though it's illegal, it's going to become the new norm. Now, I got an email from Mike Lindell yesterday, Steve. They have a bunch of new products at MyPillow.com that and it all involves footwear. Now, we've been talking about the MyPillow My Slippers for a while now. I got 2 pairs of them. Now, those are fur-lined slippers, right? But they have 2 new things and a whole bunch of new colors. I mean, a lot of new colors, okay? First, they have the new, and if you go to MyPillow.com and click on the slipper link there, you'll see all these new products. The all-season slippers. These are new. They're not fur-lined, and they're made of leather, not like the slippers, the soft leather. They're made of, like if you had leather shoes, they're made of that kind of leather. The all-season MyPillow slippers, they're available in regular and wide widths. Because I know a lot of you have contacted me that you couldn't get wide widths in the regular My Slippers in all the sizes. And I did pass that along to Mike Lindell's people. And apparently they took that advice, and the new all-season slippers come in regular and wide widths. They have a whole bunch of new sizes they didn't have, a lot of new colors. They're made of leather, breathable, soft jersey fabric linings. They even gave me a sizing recommendation chart. Okay, this is with the all-season slippers. Okay, you want to go down a size by half if you wear a half size. Okay, for example, if you wear an 8.5, buy them in size 8. If you wear a 9.5, buy them in size 9. Okay, that's how that works. So those are the all-season My Slippers. By the way, $90 off. $90 off the all-season slippers, just like the regular fur-lined slippers. And they also have new MyPillow sandals. And they have 2 different styles and a whole bunch of new colors, too, that I've never seen before on MyPillow products. They have the ones that have like the thong that goes between the big toe and the toe next to it. And then they have the sandal that covers the whole top of the foot. I'm going to order a pair of the one that covers the whole top of the foot. And the MyPillow sandals, there's a huge discount on those with our promo code KANE, too, K-A-N-E at checkout. They're made of proprietary MyPillow super soft foam that gives you superior comfort and impact absorption. Hard to get it out. And it comes with the 3-tier cushioning system that reduces the stress put on your feet and your joints as you wear them. The sandals are made for all-day comfort, built with a durable construction that will last. They're molded and formed to cradle and support the foot. They're also easy to clean. And they also have recovery foam to support the foot after you're wearing them all day long. And they're also very fashionable. You can wear them anywhere. So the new MyPillow all-season slippers and the MyPillow My Sandals, huge discounts with our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4959. $48.79. I'm ordering a pair of the all-season slippers. I think I'm going to get the slip-ons. I'm going to order those today. You can also order by phone, and I'm going to get a pair of those sandals. 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. These are great, not just for wearing around the house, wearing anywhere, doing yard work, gardening. You're going to love them. All right, we'll take our break and be right back, okay? You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. Steve is here. I'm Brian. Back after this.
Attention seniors and those who care about them. How would you like to have instant access to a Medicare advocate at the touch of a button? You can for less than $1 a day with I Will Advocates. I Will Advocates will assist you with doctor appointment scheduling, pharmacy issues, billing problems, plan benefits, Medicare applications. They'll even help when you're in the hospital. I Will Advocate clients are family, and they go to bat for their family when you need them the most. Let them be your golden guardians. Contact I Will Advocates right now online at iwilladvocates.com or call them directly, 954-345-1214. No matter where you're located throughout the state of Florida or nationwide, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. Give me a call today to save up to 50% on your insulation and radiant barrier, and up to 35% on your electric bill. That's 954-939-1500. 954-939-1500.
Do you suffer from neuropathy, back pain, shoulder pain, or osteoarthritis? Stop the suffering and stop the pain. Call Lighthouse Medical Center, 754-222-6642 for a no-charge consultation when you mention you heard them on the radio. 754-222-6642 or online at lighthousemedicalcenter.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, we are back 25 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. Steve is here. It's the Steve Kane Show. Have you heard about this Hunter Biden new leaked audio, Steve? Oh my goodness. I played it at the top of the show at 6. I want to play it again for people that were not listening at 6 a.m. But this it's from 2018. The audio comes from his laptop. This just leaked yesterday. And he's talking to a lady friend of his who's an English woman. And he's talking about his role with his dad. He says if something is important to him, his dad will make it part of his platform. That way, making it policy. And I think this is an answer as to why things are going so poorly in America today. We have a senior advisor to the President of the United States who's a crackhead, as you'll hear here. And he doesn't even want to get, he thinks the crack helps him. You'll hear him talk about this. There's a lot of bleeps in here where I bleeped out mostly F-bombs. There's some other words too, but mostly F-bombs. Hunter's really big on that. But what you pick up from this, Hunter is bragging about how he is to Biden what Bobby was to President Kennedy, or Jared Kushner is to President Trump. And this is it's pretty frightening. So this is Hunter Biden. This is new tape that was just discovered and leaked yesterday. And this comes from the laptop that he left at the computer repair shop.
Literally be a blip in the radar in the screen.
Class act.
If my dad becomes president of the United States, she will be like a pimple on my in terms of the way in which people will be on this, and you have no clue. I am Daphne Guinness already.
Yeah.
I'm more than Daphne Guinness. No one gives a about what you think about Daphne Guinness, honey, except the Tattler. I was on the front page of every newspaper, including the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, not just the Tattler.
Yeah.
And so my point is that I believe that's an opportunity to say the things and to show the things and to reveal the things through this project that we want to reveal. Because it literally gives it, because you will have attention. I think that the most important thing, if you are me, is to use your attention with intention. You will not get across to everybody, and I have figured out a long time ago, if you're going to be involved in politics the way that I am, which is to choose to engage with my father in that life.
Okay, so here we go. He is involved in politics. He engages with Biden.
Because I believe in what he does. If you're going to, then you one of your obligations is to use that platform with intent. Is to not allow the platform to sit on top of you.
Intent to get rich.
Yeah.
The platform to sit on top of me right now.
Well, what happens is if your dad becomes president,
Now remember, this is 2018, so she's asking, what will happen if your dad becomes president?
for instance, or if he runs, it's a very, if I don't know if it will be exposed to that degree, but if it does,
wonderful.
If it does, then it's a possibility for your dad to talk about drug reform and to talk about and to push.
He's going to talk about drug reform and any other thing that I want him to.
Wow, he'll talk about anything he wants him to, Hunter Biden.
He'll talk about anything that I want him to, that he believes in. If I say this is important to me, then he will work a way in which to make it a part of his platform.
Okay, if it's important to him, he says his dad will make it part of his platform. Maybe that's why Joe Biden's brought back the sex trafficking, Steve. He's got a hooker-stripper problem, Hunter. That's his hookers and his strippers are important. The drug trade is back. That President Trump shut down too, and we know drugs are important to Hunter. I mean, this is why America is wrecked right now. This is Biden's senior advisor.
President, for instance, or if he runs, it's a very if I don't know if it will be exposed to that degree, but if it does,
wonderful.
If it does, then it's a possibility for your dad to talk about drug reform and to talk about.
And remember, the Biden administration was giving out crack pipes. Remember that? A couple months back we were talking about that. Maybe that was his recommendation, because if it's important to him, it becomes policy, and we know crack pipes are important to Hunter.
He's going to talk about drug reform and any other thing that I want him to. He'll talk about anything that I want him to, that he believes in. If I say this is important to me, then he will work a way in which to make it a part of his platform. My dad respects me more than he respects anyone in the world, and I know that to be certain. So it is not going to be about whether my dad thinks it's going to affect his politics. No, it won't. It's not going to be whether or not he's going to be embarrassed. I mean, he never will. It's not going to. All of those concerns that you have with all of the people that you know that are that are the children of, I have none of them. Not a single one.
You know, this is, everyone thinks Obama is running the show, Soros. It's Hunter Biden. This is really scary, Steve.
The only one that I have is the knowledge that it's a different world, not by choice. But I am understanding of that because the person that has lived that life, that has given me this life, is the person I most admire in the world, and I would never change it because it's bigger than me. Everyone else thinks it talks about how.
Yeah.
Hard to imagine bigger than Hunter.
My dad. You know why I'm better than my dad? Because my dad tells me I'm better than him.
Oh my goodness.
I was 2 years old. So all of those fears that you think that I have of people not liking me, or that I don't love myself, and first I have to go down and you have to really care about yourself and understand and put yourself out there. Baby, have you seen me? Do I not put myself out there?
Yeah, I do.
I'm in all of it.
Yeah.
I put out there.
Yeah.
To you or to the homeless people?
Yeah, his sex videos and everything else, right?
I don't fear that. You know, I don't fear that because the man I most admire in the world, that God to me, thinks I'm a God. And my brother.
Wow. But he says Joe's a God. Joe thinks Hunter's a God. They're in the Clash of the Titans here, right? Listen to this. It is.
And the three of us, it was literally, I had the support to know I can do anything.
What does he say about you doing crack? Does he try?
He says, stop.
Yeah.
He's scared to death.
And what do you say? I mean, how does that affect you when
What do you say?
The same way that it would affect you if the person that you love most in the world wanted you to stop. And the realization that stopping, even for the person you love most in the world, is such a hard thing because it is literally, look, it's not about whether or not I want to. It's about whether I really want to.
Yeah.
But what's really want to and what's want to and what is whether to make a choice or not a choice, and I don't know. This is a habit.
My friend
right now, I know that I don't want to stop.
Wow. Whatever he says becomes policy, and he doesn't want to stop doing crack. He just said it.
But you never know. You never want to stop.
But that's the thing. It's like you can always do it tomorrow, but tomorrow is always tomorrow. You know, tomorrow is always tomorrow. Why not do it now?
For real, that's when you say things like that. I get it, but you're not an addict, and so you have no idea that is literally like you telling me that the sky is blue, but you don't seem to realize it. I realize it. I know now is now, but I know how to do it. And I'm saying to you is that I don't know if I want to do it tomorrow. I don't want to know if I do it now. I don't know.
Because you don't want to stop.
Because it's fear.
Yeah,
fear.
Because what happens if you stop? Then you have no excuses.
Oh yeah, I have a million excuses. You know I have a million excuses. Everybody has excuses. I don't have to use drugs as an excuse. You act as if drug addicts are the only one who come up with this idea that they're afraid because if they don't continue to use drugs, they're not going to have excuses. What a bunch of people know that they get in a car in the morning, and if they don't go to the gym, they're going to end up dying of obesity, but they don't go. Why? Because they're afraid. They're afraid that they're going to be thin and they're going to be healthy and they're going to be able to engage in life more. And you don't have any excuses not to do that?
Well, it's a mixture of things, isn't it?
But it's just the same.
It's habit as well. It's habit.
And habit is the biggest thing that's happening here. The fact of the matter is that I have not. Anthony Guinness will literally be just, what a bunch of people know that they get in a car in the morning, and if they don't go to the gym, they're going to end up dying of obesity, but they don't go. Why? Because they're afraid. They're afraid that they're going to be thin and they're going to be healthy and they're going to be able to engage in life more. And you don't have any excuses not to do that?
Well, it's a mixture of things, isn't it?
But it's just the same.
It's habit as well. It's habit.
And habit is the biggest thing that's happening here. The fact of the matter is that I have not had the reason to break the ease of the habit I'm in. And the reason is because I don't, like what? Nothing has captured my imagination until now. And that's why I have to start to do it. Because what I'm realizing now is that my choice to do this, the drug, is brought me to an understanding and allowed me to break from everything in the past. Have you ever thought about this? Maybe this is the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Maybe this is literally the continuation and the continuum of what is going to be the thing that makes me the person that my father believes I am. My father believes I am. Everybody says the person my father thinks I will never become. For me, it's the person I know.
At what point does that happen? Like, are you always needed?
Well, isn't that the line?
Looking for this epiphany in the
No, it's not. I've had the epiphany.
Crack pipe.
I've had the epiphany.
Yeah.
No, I've had the epiphany. I know now.
Okay, so the crack makes him wise. That's he's running the show, Steve. If it's important to him, it's policy.
You know, there's two levels you can take what we just heard. There's two levels you can take it. Part of it is the I can't pronounce this at this hour of the morning. The monetization of his family business. In other words, the subliminal message that he's sending out here is about his influence, which he is in the process of monetizing. It sets up the whole family business. It's saying to the world that my opinion is valuable in terms of getting what you want. You can pay me, I can make it happen for you because I have this kind of relationship.
That's his sales pitch to these people. Yes. That's what we heard. That's what Burisma heard in the boardroom. Well, but Steve, he's a closer with that pitch, though. He got all those deals with it. So they didn't give him millions of dollars because what he's saying is not true. They gave him millions of dollars because he can deliver.
That's what he promised. How much of it he delivered, we can only speculate on.
Well, Biden had the meetings and he got the money. And the money, he still got that hedge fund in China thing going on. The Chinese gave him a diamond. He's got the Ukraine corruption. How many millions did the mayor of Moscow's wife give him? Was it 5? 3? What? Well, might as well be 5. 3 million. So Steve, that's his pitch. They pay him, and it's got to be true, or people would not keep paying him. Okay, and I believe that what he says is true. I believe he has that much influence over his dad. All his dad cares about is money.
The real question is, will there ever be consequences for him? Is this ever going to catch up with him? in terms of legal consequences.
No, he's a Democrat. They're like James Bond. They have a license to do whatever they want.
Yeah, but what happens when the Democrats don't?
Steve, this laptop came out before his dad was president, and the media knew it and suppressed it. They knew what was on. This is new to us today, okay? But the media have known about this for a couple of years.
Now that it never talked about before this.
I know, but the media knew about this, and they didn't report it. They covered it up. So the media has known about this for 2 years. This just leaked out to the regular people like us yesterday.
Well,
let's hear. Let me give out the number. I want to hear from people in the audience. I believe what we heard was kind of a way of Hunter rehearsing to his lady friend here, who was very smart to let him talk. She knew what he was saying, so she just let him go. But this is Hunter Biden's sale pitch that he gives to China, Burisma, the Russian mayor, and all this stuff to get paid. And it works because he's telling the truth here. He does have that much influence over his dad. That's why they continue to pay him. Let's hear what you and the listening audience think. Here's our number. It's toll free. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. It's a toll-free call no matter where you are calling from. And this is scary because this country is in a wreck. This is the most economic danger that any of us have been in our adult lifetimes in this country. This is worse than the Jimmy Carter days, okay? Because in the Jimmy Carter days, Carter and his administration were trying to fix the problems. They weren't successful, but at least they were trying. We played yesterday, the White House press secretary was asked about the baby formula shortage, and she didn't even have an answer. That means they're not even talking about it. They're not trying to fix any of the problems. He's getting advice from this crackhead, Hunter Biden. We're in big trouble, Steve, and we're only a year and a half in. Yeah, I know. We got 2.5 to go. Our number toll free 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I know this is and the media cover up of this. This, to me, this audio is the top story of the day. And there, other than I saw Schmidt last night on Newsmax TV after Greta's very boring show, I haven't heard people really play this audio. I've seen it referenced here and there, but there's no, just like the Kavanaugh incident last week. The media covered that up. Media bias is not just in how they spin a story, it's what stories that they choose not to cover, right? Like this. Yeah, that's the biggest bias in the media. And this is a story that they have chosen to not cover because it's true.
Any small way due to the release of this?
Well, this came out yesterday afternoon. I got it immediately and pulled it to save it for the show today. And I was on Newsmax last night. I don't know, did Tucker and Hannity do this? I don't know. I would hope that one of them did. If not last night, I hope they do it tonight. I think the American people got a right to know if a crackhead is the senior advisor to the president. Is Hunter Biden Joe Biden's Bobby Kennedy? And the way that Hunter talks, it is, and I think there's credibility to it that people keep paying him for the access to Joe. And that's why, Steve, he goes to Connecticut every weekend. The visitor logs are not public in Connecticut. They are at the White House. So they do their dirty meetings in Connecticut where the press and no one else gets to see the visitor logs.
My understanding is that Obama insisted on that.
Yeah, he did. That's where it started. That's where it started, and he continues it today. So we're in uncharted territory that we have never been in before in this country. I mean, could you imagine if there was an audio that came out like that of Don Jr. or Eric Trump? Oh my goodness, they'd impeach Trump over it again. They'd impeach him. They'd start impeachment proceedings today. Yeah. Well, listen, I want to hear some calls specifically on this. There's some other topics we brought up throughout the day that you certainly are welcome to comment on after the break in the Gold Report. We'll take some more calls. That's hard to listen to, and the reason it's hard to listen to is because Hunter is telling the truth about the influence he has over our lives. And I mean, think of the problems that are going on with this country aren't just the inflation and economic problems. That's bad. What happened in Afghanistan was because of Joe Biden. Joe Biden is responsible for the Russian invasion of Ukraine. His botched withdrawal in Afghanistan is why Putin went in. He said, we better do it now. He's checked out. That's why Russia's getting their butt kicked so much by Ukraine. They didn't have time to prepare. They said, we better do it now. He's checked out. He's having one of those senior moments. And they went in before they were really properly prepared, Russia. So the Ukraine-Russian war is because of Biden and his senior advisor, his Bobby Kennedy Hunter. And I'm sorry. I mean, this is it. If there was a tape like that came out about Don Jr., I'd be concerned, and I'd want the public to know, and I'd want the press to carry it. Not that it would happen, but it would be appropriate. But Democrats, just like Pelosi's husband, they released the mugshot, but not the police dash cam or the body cam to see what he was like and who was with him in the Porsche. Right? All right, listen, we're going to take our last break of the day. If you're on hold, stand by. And when we get back, we'll go to the Gold Report. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. Back after this.
Laporta, the owner of Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Restoration. We have been in the roofing and construction industry since 1982. We are state of Florida certified roofing and general contractors focusing on residential and commercial roofing, impact windows, and building restoration. If you have noticed any water stains on your ceiling, or if your roof is older than 15 years, you will want to call us to come out and evaluate your roof. Our services run from minor repairs to complete new roof systems. We install every kind of roof, from regular asphalt shingles, clay or concrete tiles, standing metal seam, wood shakes, and slate tile systems. Call us at 954-604-4602 for a free home inspection and estimate. Again, that number is 954
Steve Kane Show.
4602.
Hi, hold on.
This is Scott from Cut My Kilowatts. If you call or text me on my cell phone, I will analyze your home and your FPL bill over the phone, and I can quote you on insulation, ducts, and radiant barrier. Call me now, and I'll show you how to save up to 30 to 40% on your electric bill this month and for every month from here till eternity. 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. Call now. Get up to 50% off and receive an additional $500 on over 2,000 square feet of radiant barrier, an additional $1,000 off on 4,000 square feet of radiant barrier. Call or text me now, 954-939-1500. That's 954-939-1500. Or you can find me on the web at cutmykilowatts.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated and take our daily morning look at the gold and the other precious metals markets. William Youngerman, how the metals look today?
Looking good, Brian. Gold holding very nicely above that support level which we've had for quite a while of $1,800 yesterday, even though it was down $10.50 after trading in a range from 1805 to 1833. Gold closed down $10.50. at $1,808.20 the ounce. Silver was closed unchanged at $21.02 yesterday, while platinum was down $10 at $920, and palladium closed up $18 at $1,746. Overnight, we saw gold trade all the way up to about $1,837 so far. Gold right now, $1,835 the ounce. That's up $26.80. I got to congratulate our Steve Kane listeners again yesterday for taking advantage of the nice dip that we've seen and coming in and buying the metals yesterday at great prices. Silver up 60 cents this morning at $21.62 the ounce. Platinum up $30 at $950. Palladium up $32 at $1,778. And of course, Bitcoin down another 5% today at $21,000.
Oh my goodness, wow.
that's pretty much where we.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, this. I mean, we're in a bad state. Every sector of the economy outside of the metals is not looking good, and this is the time. Protect your wealth. Gold, silver, platinum. William Youngman opens up weekdays at 10 a.m. located on the first floor of the Bank of America building here in Boca, immediately east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can find him online at williamyoungerman.com or give him a call toll-free, 800-327-5010. 800-327-5010. All right, William Youngerman, we will check in tomorrow.
Okay.
All right, take care. All right, let's go back to our phones. Callers on hold. We'll get to these calls the best we can in the order in which they were received. I'm Brian. Steve, of course, is here. 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Brian from Deerfield.
Hey, Brian, what's up?
Brian, we're seeing a level of moral bankruptcy in the office of the presidency, the First Family, the Democratic Party, our mass media. You wonder if the nation can survive this. And we're not on all of it.
Now let's talk specifically. Let's get specific about Hunter. Let me tell you something. I have sympathy for people that have substance abuse problems. I've never had someone in my immediate circle who had crack addiction. I've had family members with drug addiction, and I was talking earlier. I ran into two people in the early '90s that were walking the streets that I went to high school with, that were crack addicts, and I didn't even recognize them. I mean, they recognized me. It was one guy I went to middle and high school with him. He weighed like 65 pounds. He's probably dead now. I mean, there's just no way. But there's no doubt in my mind that Hunter Biden is telling the truth, that was his sales pitch for all their corrupt dealings to these companies and countries, and that he's still advising Biden in a very secret but senior level. What are your thoughts on that audio?
Well, it's stunning, and the thing is, we're not just talking about an ordinary family. We're talking about the First Family, and who are able to start wars around the world.
Well, they have. They started they're responsible for the Ukraine-Russian war.
Absolutely, that was dead in the water until he hyped all this thing, and now look at all the people that are suffering and dying because of some crackhead and his amoral father who's the president.
And it is terrible. And Biden's a terrible man to have a child that's dealing with that. The last thing you give an addict is 10 cents. You don't give addicts money, and he's giving him millions. He's keeping him doped up to do his bidding.
Yeah, he's basically, the president is an enabler.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that audio was long, okay? And I normally wouldn't play something that was so long. But I think people got to hear it.
Well, when you're hearing it in the guy's own words, the guy's incriminating himself, the audio version is it's damning is what it is, and yet we all know that's what's going on. We need everybody to understand what's going on in this administration. It's beyond a discussion.
Well, listen, all I can do is share it like we're doing with our listening audience, and I would ask you all, I did tweet this out. This audio is available online at the Gateway Pundit. Get this out on social media. Tag Hannity, tag Tucker. Not that it's going to change the world, but I think everybody needs to know this connection and how serious it is.
Do you think Tucker and Hannity will play it though on their show? I don't know.
The people that I've seen play it only play the one clip where he says, if it's important to me, it's part of the platform. I think the whole thing needs to be heard. Because it gives it context and credibility.
What's the whole audio last, Brian?
It's about 6.5 minutes. Okay. And I know it's long. I mean, we're not. I know we're in general we're not really supposed to play audio that's long. I don't really do that, but I felt it's necessary. If everybody was covering it, it'd be different.
Well, I think it's definitely worthwhile because when you're hearing this audio, it really strikes home. And the striking part is the First Family. This is how they operate.
Mm-hmm.
Combination.
And how I described it to Steve is that was Hunter's sales pitch, right? Would you agree? Does that sound like his pitch?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's it. That's his sales pitch.
And he's a closer. Indeed. Oh.
And this first family, and the moral bankruptcy of a political party, and the media. The media is the enabler for this too.
All right.
Is that if they would cover this?
It is.
It's all of them put together.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, listen. Thanks for the call.
Thank you, Brian.
All right. Take care. All right. We have a full board. Just one opening where the last caller was. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Jim from New York. Hey. Good morning. Hey, so, you remember when the media made a big deal about Jared Kushner being an assistant to Trump and he was a productive, smart, normal human being member of society, unlike this guy. And that's, again, it shows the double standard, the lack of reporting, the media bias, the fake news. I mean, this says it all.
Yeah, but this is a national security issue. This country is. Listen, let me tell you. When Bill Clinton was fondling women, raping women, and doing all that stuff when he was president, the reason he got away with it was not because he was a Democrat. That helped. The reason Bill Clinton got away with Kathleen Willey, Juanita Broderick, Paula Jones, and Lewinsky is because the country it was during the tech bubble. The country was doing incredibly well. Economically and everything else, and because we had so much prosperity during that time, he was able to get away with all these things. This country is in turmoil right now. It's not the same time.
It is.
Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. This is only the beginning.
Well, I can't. You mean it's going to be worse than a crackhead being the Bobby Kennedy of Biden here? It's going to get worse than that?
Yes.
I agree, though, that when you have a drug addict who's unpredictable, it is a national security issue. But what I'm saying is, it gets back to the double standard. Jared Kushner, they laid into him and laid into Trump. This guy will not be reported.
Okay, let me tell you, years ago, it's not this way now. Years ago, if you were gay, you could not get a top secret security clearance. Do you know why that was, caller?
Distorted.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, exactly. They thought, these liberals say, oh, they were homophobic. They didn't want the homosexual. No, you could be blackmailed if you were gay back in those days, and they don't want someone with a top security clearance to be blackmailable. That's why I had a friend who worked for TSA, at the turnstile where all those creeps are looking at the women naked with the X-rays. He got fired. He got fired because he racked up credit card debt. And they did a credit check, and they said, "Well, you got so much credit card debt, you could be bribed at the security. You're fired." I know it's crazy, but this guy, our president, this guy makes porno movies and uploads them online on public websites, and sends the links to Joe to get what he wants. This is a security risk here for the whole country.
And it's symbolic of the entire immorality of what's going on.
Well, you don't think... All right, take care. He's a conservative. He's got to go to work, unlike Liberal Al, who's got plenty of time. Steve, this guy, when he travels to China, he travels to Europe, wherever he's at, they've got audio and video of everything he does. They got his phones and communication monitored. Do you understand how much blackmail material that there must be on Joe Biden? No doubt. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Once. Yeah, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. Oh my. This isn't Al. Is this Al? Whoever it was, we'll never know. The rest of you on hold, I'm sorry, the clock is ticking. I wish I would have taken one of the other lines before that one. Yeah. I want to end the show. What happened with Al there is he just gave up. He's like, what can I say? So he pretends to have all these problems. But I do want to take a moment, Steve and I, to tell you about the best restaurant in town. That's Wings Plus on Sample Road in Coral Springs. Yeah. Yeah, everything. Oh yeah. Now when I go there, I mainly order two things, both wings. I order other things on the menu too. Everything's spectacular, but my two favorites are the medium hot wings, and my second favorite are the lemon pepper wings that Steve introduced me to. And oh,
the wings are a major feature. There's no question.
oh, that's what the plus is. Yeah, but you know, yep.
That are just incredible.
And everything's homemade. Nothing comes out of a can. Yeah, and don't forget the chili. The chili's out of this world, and yeah. So
is all filled with beans and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I know Wings Plus. Everything's just thick, meaty, delicious.
oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. And Wings Plus. We're almost out of time. That's all. Okay, we're almost out of time, so I'm sorry. I'm trying to wind it down. We just got a few seconds left. Okay, Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs, is of course located in Coral Springs, about 1 mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. Easy to find. You'll see the Wings Plus sign, but right next to that, they have a Ron DeSantis for Governor sign hanging right next to that one. When you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. All right, Steve, you want to sign us off? We got 10 seconds.
does it for today. We thank you for joining us. We will be back to do it all over again tomorrow. Till then, on behalf of our associate producer, Lori Kane, my partner and co-host, Brian Craig, I'm Steve. See you tomorrow. God bless Donald Trump.
This is the Talk of South Florida, 95.3, 96.9, AM 1470, WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG Live station.
All right, guys. Hey, listen, thanks for watching, everyone. And please like the video if you've not done so already. If you're new, subscribe. And I was talking earlier, I'm getting close to that 50,000 subscriber mark. And you guys can help me get there. You know, if you're already subscribed, tell your friends about the channel, and hopefully they'll subscribe too. But when you like the video, it recommends this video and my other videos to people that have not yet found the channel. And I know when people find the channel, they're going to want to subscribe because, you know, it's a great community and a lot of great content. So please like the video if you're already subscribed. All right, guys, I got to take off. I'll see you soon. New podcast coming today, too, with my wife, Kathy. Till then,